Hey everybody, oopsie. Ruel and I were just too busy chatting and I completely lost track of time. Welcome to the R&R
Chatting away.
Show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Ruel Gaviolo. That's Richard Rahdo. This is the R&R Show, episode 24, which means this is 6 months in now, my friend.
It is ridiculous.
Crazy.
That is
I
ridiculous.
love it.
I can't even believe it. And it seems to still be growing in popularity.
Yep.
And I'm still having a good time. Again, not having a good time
too.
2 hours prior to the show, but then it's all uphill, upswing from there. And so I'm still happy to do it. If you are, that's great. Although, first of all, folks, sound check, please. If you've been watching the last few streams, I have been deep in hardware difficulties, but I think you can hear me. No one has said otherwise. But also, can we get a volume check too? I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and then Ruel can say 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3.
4, 5, 6.
How does that sound? I think, according to these audio meters, I think you're a little louder than me. Sound is good. Oh, yeah, and Kabuki confirms I'm a little bit quieter, so I'm going to bring you down just a scooch, just a hooch, just a hair. I think it's interesting. I think you literally naturally have a louder voice than me, just your natural talking volume.
I think so, yeah. Some people have said that I'm a loudmouth, so that's probably
well, that's what they always say about me. You're the only person I know that has a natural speaking voice louder than my default volume level. Plus, you're so deep. You got such a Barry White thing going on. It's
yeah, Barry White. I love it.
Yep.
I want to shout out that I saw that someone in the chat. Their handle is Up the Iron 70. Thank you for confirming the sound is good, and also nice Iron Maiden reference in the name there. Forrest of Glass says Ruel's a bit louder.
Yep. Yeah. So all right. So I brought you down a bit, and now my normal thing is hovering in the yellow, and I think you're now hovering in the yellow as well.
Okay, cool, perfect.
Yep. Okay,
all
cool,
right.
Cool. Phew. And so far, I haven't
Wow.
gone quiet yet. The cameras haven't started wigging out or glitching out yet.
Yeah.
The offending hub has been excised. It is no longer part of the system. I rejiggered. I'm waiting for a new hub to replace it. But in the meantime, I spent a lot of time under this table yesterday, moving cables around, combining things. Okay, these are non-essential. These are essential. So that now everything is just plugged directly into the computer, which I didn't think I had enough USB hubs to do, but I was able to do some jiggery pokery, get rid of some stuff, and do. I actually have like a different USB hub that's combining like my wireless keyboard and some other stuff, so the cameras and the mics all get dedicated channels. Fingers crossed, as Brenner says.
Yes.
All of them crossed, and wrists,
all
and arms. Because oh my goodness, this has been.
I'll have to message you offline. I would like the hub that you got, because I'm due to get a new hub as well. Like, I have a powered hub, but it's a few years old, and I'm just the stuff that you're going through yesterday got me worried. I'm like, I should probably upgrade my hub as well.
Well, yeah. Until I destroyed it by overheating a prototype, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I've been super happy with that hub. I mean, I tried a whole bunch of cheap ones, like $10, $15 ones, thinking, it's just a USB hub, how could it be? And they were just all garbage. I sent them all back, and I eventually went with its ANKER. The one I got 3 years ago was a $60 one. The new one that's coming is a $90. But you know what? If this works today, I don't need that new hub. I might return it too, because it was $90. Yeah. And I'm the cheapest man in board gaming, so I don't want to spend money if I don't have to. I mean, look at the production values on this show. Obviously, I can't even afford to pay for a nice little theme. There's all those themes that Stream Elements and Streamlabs offer. Nope. I'll just go with this bitmap that I found on Reddit that replicates the void from the from last week tonight, and it works.
Right. I mean, everyone's here for your sparkling personality, so that's what gets them here. Just the whole hub thing. Like, I think you said ANKER, right?
ANKER, yes.
I think I had one of their old power banks, which was fantastic. So they're a really good company. But people aren't here to talk about tech. We're here to talk about some games.
Exactly. Yes, this is a game-related show, is it not?
Yeah.
I need to start a different channel for USB hub reviews. Rahdo runs through USB hubs. That would be fantastic.
Oh, that would be great.
All right.
That would be fantastic.
So it feels like forever since we got together. I know it's just been a week, but there's been so much stuff that's happening in between. Thank you, Feldfan, for resubscribing. Just this minute. Yeah. Hey, says Feldfan. Oh, also thank you to Snakehawk37. Oh, wait, no, that was in between the last show and this show, I think. And the Gray Kid, looks like we had to subscribe while we were offline. So thank you, folks, for getting us ever closer to the next RVR show. We have an RVR tomorrow, Savannah Park.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. I'm so glad I got to try it out last night. It's going to be a fun game tomorrow, folks. So be sure to join us. Again, same channel here, 12 noon. We're going to go live. We're going to play some Savannah Park. By the way, if you're subscribed, thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you get a free sub courtesy of Amazon Prime if you're a member. And that subscription gets you all kinds of free goodies. You can see down below there all the little avatars jumping and slinging each other. You get that if you're a subscriber. So please be sure to check out your Amazon Prime account, see if you can get a subscription for free.
Yeah, at no cost to you. Or if you're not an Amazon Prime subscriber, you might want to consider subscribing anyway with actual real money. Again, there's a list of benefits every month. Like right now, if you're a subscriber, whisper me, I will give you a link to a subscriber viewable only run through of my wife and I playing an entire game of Zulk and the Mayan Calendar, Tribes and Prophecies. And next month, anybody who is a subscriber can whisper me, and I'll give you a new link for another one. Plus, if you can't find the secret word, we'll tell you where it is. We try. Oh, and 20% off Rahdo merch. So we're trying to make it worth people's while. Although obviously we're just trying to put on a good show too. But anyway, therein ends the commercial for us. Right, we have some outstanding business from the previous episode, I believe.
Okay,
yes, we have a Mom Gamer 101 would like to buy an argument, and Goblin 981 would like some Trivial Pursuits. And just this very second, it looks like I see in the chat, Brenner requested a Ruel Ranks. Yep, there we go.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, now we've already talked about what the argument would be, because it's so hard for us to figure out good arguments. But when I said, no, Wrath of Khan is not the best Star Trek movie, you said, what?
What?
So
yeah, mind blown.
Yeah, we could argue that, but since Mom Gamer requested it, and she's a pretty regular, I think let's wait on that and see if she shows up, because I'm sure she'd like to be here for it. So, shall we spin the wheel of trivia, or should we rank a game of yours?
Let's rank a game, and then we can do the trivia right afterwards.
Okay, let me bring up a ye old browser. Alrighty, and browser. And there's the wheel of names. Will be one lucky winner. Will be getting a copy of Galaxy. You want to do the giveaway right now? It's up. Let's just do that.
Yeah. Hey, let's do that. Yeah.
Last week's sponsor of the show, CGE, offered a new anniversary edition of Galaxy Trucker. One lucky winner is going to do it. You know what? Let me just do one quick last check. There's always a few people that literally, put their thing in like 5 minutes after we start, and I always feel bad. This time I'm remembering to check. And
you're so nice.
Nope.
You're so kind.
Yep. No, yeah, nobody in. So everybody's in. Let's spin.
Good luck, everybody.
That was a poem.
Let's see who's. Wow, there's a lot of names on there.
And the winner is. It's Dan M. Poor Matt. I can't quite read it now that it's brewed up. But Dan M. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Yes, Galaxy Trucker, one of CGE's best. I'll be contacting you later today to get the particulars, your address, and all that kind of stuff. We're going to be giving away a new game when the show actually starts. It's on my table right now. It's Vivid Memories, and that's super exciting. But we'll worry about that when the show starts, because we are going to rank some games. Let me bring up the Ruel Gaviola game library.
Yeah. So this is something that everyone you can spend channel points on, and you will make me rank one of my games. As you can see, I've got hundreds of games that are unranked because I am not good at this type of thing. I just, for whatever reason, I have not ranked a ton of these games. But yes, I'm looking forward to ranking right now.
All right, so I've just gone to a random place in his list of 590 games, and you see, so you can see that, right? Let me make it a bit bigger for you so you can see it a bit better.
Yeah.
All righty. You know what I can do? I can make them even easier for you to read if I scroll back up and say, give me just big boxes, please.
Boo. Oh, there you go.
All right, and now it can go back down a little bit so you can see a few more. So Ruel's going to pick a few that he's comfortable with ranking. These are a bunch of newer ones. Oh, because I'm at the bottom of the list, so these are new things that have been added.
Okay.
All right. Do you see something you would want to rank?
Oh, yeah.
So
scroll down a little bit.
All right, down a bit.
Scroll down a little bit. Boop, boop. Yeah.
You like this group?
One more row.
One more row. Boop, boop, boop.
There it is.
All right.
I see Lost Ruins of Arnak, Cryo, Claim, Parks, and Dice Miner. Spoiler alert, I love all these 5 games.
All right. Well, Cryo. Oops. CRYO. I'm going to move this over here. Cryo and what else?
Claim.
Claim. CLAIM. All right.
Yep. Parks.
Didn't we already do this? Didn't we do Parks?
Parks seems like we've done that before.
I'm pretty sure you did, and you said you were going to rank it, and you didn't. So it is disqualified.
Did I not rank it? I did rank it. I gave it an 8.
Then why is it here? Because this is sorted by stuff that's unranked. Now I got to go back to the other and prove that it is unranked, and you are a big fat cheater. And all this work that we in the audience are doing is for naught. All right, what was it we were just talking about?
I have it as 8 on my.
Yes, you do. Hey, look at that. No, that's Clip Cut Parks. Clip Cut Parks is excellent. Oh, shoot.
There it is.
Yeah, I was thinking, those are a lot of good ones. How could you have not ranked all these? Because you have ranked them all.
Yeah.
All right, I just didn't scroll down far enough. All right.
Okay.
So we need to be down in this area. So that's the problem with putting those big icons.
Yeah.
Can't see if you've ranked them. So, do you see any here you like?
Scroll down a little bit. I saw, let me see.
All right.
What is that?
We can go to the second page if you want.
Yeah, let's go second page.
All right. Yeah, the second page will be nothing.
I'm like, I don't remember playing these. Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, that is a problem of all board gamers. We have too many
things, yeah.
Crystal Tiger Dice, Floriferous, a Grick.
Oh yeah, stop right there.
Right,
let's see. Oh, okay. I just got this. So I just got the shipment of Button Shy games, as you can tell.
Yeah.
I would love to rank Food Chain Island. Or yesterday I played Floriferous. I can rank that one.
All right.
And what was the other one? Not Agropolis. It's Sprawlopolis. I just I played last week.
Sprawlopolis. I might have spelled that wrong.
Ooh, I haven't played Pakal yet. I just got that in.
What about your Targ Tower? I remember seeing
I
you
have
post
played
somewhere
Dark
that you had that.
Tower. How about On the Rocks?
On the Rocks.
You might be interested in
Okay.
that. Yeah.
One more.
We'll go.
You played
Mandala Stones
Mandala
is
Stones.
yeah, that is an abstract. We could do
All
Mandala
right, there we
Stones.
go. All right, folks, you have 2 minutes to vote. Go. And Ruel will spill the beans on one of these fine games. You get to choose.
And just looking at them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I've enjoyed all 5 of these. One of them is a clear cut step above the rest, I believe.
Oh, well, let's see if they guess correctly.
Yeah, let's see. Ooh,
I've put in my one measly vote.
Okay.
On the Rocks.
And folks, you can spend channel points to influence the vote as well. Don't forget that. You can spend your channel points.
Yep. For folks who don't know, the longer you watch, as you watch the show, you passively earn Rahdo points, channel points that you can spend on all kinds of things, like bumping up your vote or requesting a sequence like this. Or
folks, I'm bumping up my
customization vote for your avatars, or making your avatars supersized, all kinds of silly stuff. What should'll Ruel rank? I was typing too quickly, obviously. Food Chain Island is currently in the lead. Wow, that's surprising.
Wow, really?
I would not have expected that. Honestly, I thought Floriferous was going to run away with it.
Me too.
But yeah, it's Food Chain Island's vote to lose right now, unless somebody spends a lot of points to turn things around, I think.
Friends, I'm going to start spending points. If y'all don't start voting, I'm spending points.
Oh my gosh! Oh, we juked the stats. We talked about Floriferous, and now it's wow. Okay, we've got to fight now. Food Chain Island versus Floriferous.
Food Chain Island. Wow, it's neck and neck.
Oh my gosh, it's just bouncing back and forth down to the wire.
Look at that, folks.
How much time do we have left? We've got 20 seconds left. And Floriferous pulls into the lead. Okay, now we need to talk about how can Floriferous not be chosen to give it, but 3 people have chosen On the Rocks. I guess there's not a lot of martini cocktail love in the audience today. Oh, Food Chain Island makes a huge comeback.
Wow, someone's spending their points.
Yep,
it's not me.
And there you go. Somebody knows how to work the system. Well, then we are going to talk about Food Chain Island. And normally we promise in this segment that Ruel will do his ranking. We'll talk about it a bit, but not this time, because this is the only game on that list I don't know. I could have talked about any of the other ones. So I figured, okay, we've got a 4 out of 5 chance that I'll be able to contribute, but nope, not this time. So tell us, Ruel, tell us about Food Chain Island. The people want to know.
Well, you can see right off the bat that the designer is one of my favorite designers, Scott Alms of the Tiny Epic series games. Yes. So this one, it was not on my radar, but Button Shy, I reached out. I wanted to see if I could get a copy of Sprawlopolis, and they said, "Hey, how about Food Chain Island?" I was like, I looked at it, I was like, "Oh, Scott Alms, of course, totally." I had no idea what it was. It's an 18-card micro game, as you can see,
which is everything. That's what Button Shy does. That is their thing.
Yes. Yeah. That's their thing. So all the animals are numbered 0 through 15. Okay, then you have 2 special animals. What are you trying to do? The animals are set up in a 4x4 grid, and you're trying to you can eat another animal by, it has to be less. Like if it was a number 5, they can eat a 4, 3, or 2. So it can be up to 3 less.
Okay.
And as you move them over, you're going to place them on top. And then there's a special ability that triggers, and then you have to do the ability. It could be like moving another animal, it can be eating another animal, and so forth. And what the object of the game is to get that 4x4 grid down to 1 stack. And it is not easy. It's a nice little puzzle. You have 2 sea animals that give you special powers. Like, I think it's the whale that allows you to move an animal anywhere you want. Because, as you're moving the animals, there's going to be empty spaces. You have to find a way to get through those empty spaces. And some of the animals give you, like, there's the mouse, number 3. If the mouse eats something, then afterwards you can move an animal 1 to 2 spaces. The fox, the animal must move diagonally a space. And the snake, if you eat something with the snake, you get to swap the locations, 2 cards. So it's a really fun puzzle. I was actually blown away by this. I had no idea it was going to be this good. Yeah, it was rock solid.
So it's a solo-only game then, right? It sounds like it's a solo game.
Only, yeah.
I mean, obviously people can sit around and solve the puzzle together.
Yeah, and that's probably what I need to do, because I've only beaten this thing like twice out of all so I probably need a little help there. But it's such a clever little design, and I love how it's 15 minutes of your time, but it's a brain burner for what it is. It's like, how am I going to get these animals into one stack? So technically, you win if you get it down to 3 stacks. But I've gotten like 3-2 a couple of times. But once you get it down to one, it's a really good feeling. And they give you alternate rules as well. Instead of that 4x4 grid, they have like special little patterns that you could put. So you're going to have to use those special powers to jump over empty spaces.
Oh, wow.
And then you could, to make it even harder, you can get rid of the sea animals, which are your bonus actions. You can get rid of those and not have those and just use the regular actions. Really cool game. Totally took me by surprise. I played it like a dozen times in the last couple of days.
Now, let me ask you this. Is it possible with the randomized layout that you get yourself with, oh, this is unwinnable with these particular things?
I have I thought about that too. I have not gotten to that point yet.
You've not never felt seen that happen. Way. You have felt like, oh, that's my fault. If I'd been smarter, I would have figured this out.
Yeah. Now there are times. Okay, no, no. I always feel like I should have been able to figure this out. Although once you get towards the end game, when you got like 7 cards or so, you can sort of see that writing on the wall. It's like, probably shouldn't have done that or whatever. I always try to save those 2 special powers towards the end because those were really helpful. But it's a wonderful puzzle. That's why I'm going to rank it in. Charming. Yeah, it's
so what's your ranking?
I'm going to rank it a 7.85.
All right. Not quite an 8. What would it take to get to 8? Because that sounds really, really good.
It was.
Would it require a 2-player mode to get it above an 8?
It may. I think if I could do, and you could totally do it a 2-player mode just by working with your partner or whatever. Maybe that would help. You know what it is? It's just because I suck at the game. I'm not going to give it an 8. I'm mad at Food Chain Island, but it's wonderful. I'll play it at any time. This is the type of game. As we open up travel a little more, this is the perfect game for playing on a plane. It'll fit on a little tray.
Wow. Really?
Yeah,
are these perfect for that. Are these tiny cards or are they regular bicycle?
Like bridge size card? I'd say they're bridge size cards.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, that's very cool.
Yeah,
so almost an 8 for Scott Alms and Button Shy. I gotta say, you made it sound so good. I'm surprised. My only feedback to you is it sounds like it deserves to be more than an 8.
Yeah, quite frankly. Maybe I should give it an 8. I don't know. I'm going 7.85. I'm going to stick to my guns here.
Yep. I mean, yeah, it is kind of a shame that they didn't do a little bit of extra work. I don't know, what would it be? Something like, if you and I were playing this together, it's an extra level of complexity that, I can never pick a card that's adjacent to the card you just picked or something like that. So it adds an extra thing, and we have to think about this. But then they do something else to make it a bit easier, just as like an alternate mode kind of a thing. But no, that's really cool. And
one thing I could see this having a problem, I think it might be a game that's prone to AP, because you're looking at it's all open information, so it's up to you to figure out the right sequence to move those cards. And I've played it, a dozen times now. And there are a few games where I'm like, okay, it's a solo game, no one's looking, I'm going to retcon this move, go back a little bit, and I'm going to try this way instead. It's a nice little puzzle. I really enjoy it.
Well, Ruckus doesn't care for it. He's out because it has a spider.
Oh.
Sorry,
and
that was Ruckus. Kind of a creepy little spider. A happy, but very creepy little spider.
Yeah.
And actually, some people are drawing over parallels to Bumunto, which I have to admit, I'm not familiar with that. I don't know if you are.
I am not, no.
Yeah, Gamer Grimes wanted to point out. So apparently, if you like the sound of that might be something you want to check as well, folks. Mm-hmm. All right, but okay, so we've done it. We have rated a game. And like I said, the 1 in 5 chance that I wasn't going to be able to give it a rating as well. That's okay. I'll be more involved next week. Okay, so we have done
I thought for sure it was either On the Rocks or Floriferous. I thought those were the favorites, and I may have dumped a couple of points on Floriferous myself.
I also voted for Floriferous because I just filmed a run-through for it the other day, so it's incredibly fresh in my mind. Let's see here. Yeah, but anyway, let's move on.
That's a fantastic game.
So, okay, trivia time. Goblin, 7 days ago, a week ago, said, hey, I want Trivial Matters revealed to all. So I'm marking that done, and then I am, where to go? I need to bring up the wheel, and then I need to bring up the button for the wheel, which is ironically on a completely different. This says the word general, folks, but apparently there's so few spokes now. I didn't realize it was going to squeeze them together. It looks like we're going to be hearing some Ruel stories today. Let's find out.
50-50 shot. I'll laugh at it and it stops on your name.
That would have been ridiculous. But nope. Okay,
Yeah.
Ruel is up.
Okay.
You have to spill the beans.
Spill the beans. What's a bit of trivia? I've got this one I wanted to share. So, did you know my first name is not actually Ruel?
Whoa! Whoa! What the heck are you talking about?
It's actually part of my first. My first name is, I actually have two first names. My full first name is Ruel Grant, Grant. So Ruel Grant Gaviola. That is my first name.
You're legal on your driver's license. It says
Yep.
your first name is one word, Ruel Grant.
2 words, Ruel Grant. Sort of like, I guess what's the American like Jim Bob or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know what I mean? So
do
it's
they get
Ruel
hyphenated?
Grant. It is not hyphenated. No, it's 2 words. And Rahdo, do you know why I have the name Ruel Grant?
I have so many questions, and that was not one of them. But please, why?
I'm the oldest of 3 boys.
Okay.
When my mother was pregnant with me back in the day, many moons ago, she prayed to God.
Number of years, as I recall. You're kind of coy about.
We're not going to talk about number of years. We're just saying back in the day, the world was still in black and white. It was a long time ago. My mother prayed and she asked for a son. So when I was born, she said, God has granted her a son. Therefore, I am Ruel Grant. That's the story. I'm sticking to it. Ruel Grant, folks. That's why.
Okay.
But just in life, I go by Ruel. But that's
But on legal documents, you have to in the first name, you have to say Ruel space Grant.
Yep.
Does that cause you problems with flying or anything like that?
No, I mean, I have my passport, I have my driver's license. It's all good. And normally I'll just sign Ruel Gaviola. And come on, people don't really check, But as far as like legal stuff, like tax forms and things like that, yes, you will see Ruel Grant, my middle name, and then Gaviola on the forms.
And apparently you're saving your middle name for another trivia at some point down
the road.
Yes,
that'll be the next
That is interesting. Yeah, Jen, when we got married, my last name was Ham, her last name was Bump. And I said, honey, keep your name. That's totally fine. I don't know. Ham might actually be worse than Bump, quite frankly. They're both just rife. We both were teased mercilessly by kids growing up. All kinds of rhyme schemes you can do and all sorts of terrible. So just keep it if you want. And because I'm not a big fan of Ham, period. And she decided, no, I'm going to double down. Her legal last name is Bump-Ham.
Oh, she's hyphenated.
Yeah, she did that. And that is probably one of her biggest regrets in life.
Because
really? It has caused her no end of grief with, document screw-ups and snafus. It is a real problem for flying because most airlines don't recognize the hyphen, but you're never sure. Is it Bump dash Ham or is it just Bump Ham or is it just Bump or it's just, oh man. She always talks about going back and undoing it, but she's been living with it now for over 30 years, so I don't think she's going to be changing it anytime soon. So that's why I was curious, but apparently if you're going to do something like that, do it to your first name, not your last name.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe that's the difference. It's the first name, they just sort of skim over that, and then they just focus on the last name, and I don't have hyphens or anything like that. That's interesting that the travel thing is so tough.
Oh, yeah, without fail, almost every time we have to fly someplace, there's some kind of, first of all, we're always nervous. Is she going to have a problem? And, So, let's see here. Let's say hi to the chat. We've been ignoring for a while. We've just been too lost in each other's trivia. Tech, we did just announce the winner. It was Dan. I think the letter was M. So, Tech, unless your first name is Dan, I'm sorry. You didn't make it. But better luck next. We will be giving away another one. That'll be in the main show. Hey, Dutch Yoda. Hey. Oh, what do we got? The French woman from 1984 has subscribed with Prime. Now, there's got to be a story behind that username. That's some interesting trivia.
Like a great name.
That seems very specific.
They subscribed with Prime. There it is. Another Prime subscriber. Thank you, French woman, 1984. Nazgott said something funny. So if I wasn't born a boy, I could have been Ruel denied rather than Ruel Grant.
Ooh, very nice.
Nice one, Nazgott.
You should ask your mom. What would she have done?
I never asked her. I'm going to ask her next time I see her. I'm going to ask her what would I have been named if I was a girl.
Inquiring minds want to know. And again, I like Ruel denied.
That's great.
Yeah.
Anything else going on in chat? Everyone's just hanging out. Thank you, friends. Good to see y'all here.
Sea Otter is given the report at 22 minutes into the launch of Marvel Zombies from Cool Mini or Not, already up to 1.25 million.
I was just gonna say that's got to be at least $1 million. That's every single Steam thing, come on game is always multi-million dollars. It's crazy.
Wow. Jeez, it's just inconceivable to me. I can't even understand such numbers. Maybe someday I will.
Have you ever gone all in on one of those? I've never gone all in on one.
I mean,
that's just way out of my price range.
I've had the opportunity to play Zombicide, and I've just never really been that interested. Hey, everybody. Real Bad Noobs is spreading kindness and generosity everywhere. 5 gifted subs to the channel. That is excellent. I think that's putting us on, on the road to a hype train, potentially, which, if we unlock that, folks will get extra icons and emojis you can use. But yeah, that is awesome. Thank you so much, Real Bad Noobs. And then he or she subscribed afterwards, putting other people first. What a wonderful person the Real Bad Noobs are. All right.
That's what's great. What's great about the Twitch community. I mean, it is a community, and Slivers has just cheered as well. Thank you, Slivers.
That put us over the top. We are hype trained. It is hype time.
Folks.
Very nice. Cool.
All right.
Right. So, let's see. I have not seen Mom Gamers show up. So, I'm still inclined to sit on because she is often here. So she must not be able to make it. So, let's save that one. If she shows up after the show, we can do it. Or if she shows up in the, or if she shows up, we might even stop midway through to do a break in the top 10.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've been going for a half an hour. We've already given away the game. We've hit our other 2 things. I don't think any other requests have come in. Have they? Other than, oh my gosh, I hear there is some. All right, the French woman cheered 100 bits. Little Buster cheered 100 bits. Thank you very much, and Slivers 100 bits, trying to get us up to level. All right, I never understand how this. Are we at level 3 now? Or no, level 3.
We've completed level 2, and we are working on level 3.
Okay, we're working towards level 3. One time we did actually make it to 5, and you were blown away that happened because that's as high as it goes, apparently.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, before I forget, can I make a quick announcement?
Yes, why
friends,
don't you?
Yeah, right after the R&R show, stick around because we're going to raid my channel. I'm going to go live a few minutes. So again, I'm going to take off here a few minutes early to get my channel ready to go because I'm going to live stream one of the games that's on my list for top 10 games that can be played remotely. So I'm really excited about this. Love for y'all to stick around, join the raid. You get extra channel points if you are part of the raid. And then I'm going to play a game with y'all. You can I'll announce the game at the end of the.
Or are you playing that close to your
I can't say now because it's on my list. I don't want to, no spoilers. But after we do the list, after we recorded the show, they will know everyone will know what game it is, and y'all can play along if you have the game. And actually, this is a game you don't even need a copy of it to play along. But that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
That's all I'm going to say.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Yes. Well, I guess that makes sense, seeing as how our topic this week is going to be games you can play remotely. So you're gonna.
Yes.
Will people stick around to be able to play with you right now, or would it be post if they go get the game themselves, they could play it?
I mean, if they have the game handy,
they'd be able to play it with you today. But if they ever get the game, they'd be able to revisit the video. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I'll have all my VODs friends. They go to my YouTube channel, and you can just click on the YouTube, and you can play along there. Like I've done that before, where someone's done a playthrough of like a roll and write, and I'll just play along with them. This is a similar type of thing. But again, that's it. No more spoilers. No spoilers. I'm not gonna say what the game is.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned earlier in the warm up. I mean, this was a hard list to do, quite frankly.
It was brutal. I guess we should talk. Do you want to talk about that during the show?
Yeah, let's talk about it during the show. What the parameters were that we established for ourselves. Because when we do these combined lists, it is. I think it is important that we try to come up with something that'll have some kind of continuity between us, rather than just, I didn't think you were going to go that way. That's a completely different list, a different subject almost. Let's say, Denoga and To Live and Dice in L.A. More cheers. Trying to get that hype train up. We've got 1:40. Apparently, if you do it, you will unlock a happy seal emote. A little barking seal and some other cute stuff. Thank you. And also, by the way, every time you subscribe, or gift a subscription, you're getting us closer to another RVR because we're playing Savannah Park tomorrow. If we get enough more subscribers, what are we at? We're at 117 of 149. That's ultimately gonna probably have a February RVR show with you. And those bits are getting us closer to me doing another run-through. I don't know if people caught my live stream yesterday of Astro Knights. technical issues aside, that was really interesting, and I hope folks liked it because I really, as much as covering the game, I really dive deep into how I actually film the games, and that is what I think I would do in the future if we ever unlock that bonus run-through when we get to 9,900 bits, and we're at 6,300 bits at the moment.
Oh, okay. 60% of the way there.
Yep.
I love watching that. It was really neat to see like the decisions you make before you're even setting up stuff. You know, it was really, oh, okay, he's going to go this way with that. He sets this up. And it's just, I thought it was fascinating to, you know, again, showing how the sausage is made. Right?
Yeah, definitely. Yep. It was a good time. Except for all the horrible technical issues, which so far I haven't had any today, so I'm very, very happy at that. Oh, and Real Bad Noobs, the MVP today, is also first-time chatter saying that everybody is the best for Pushing Out Hype Train. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much, folks, for supporting the show and making this possible. Because this man doesn't show up for free. I pay him. And you're helping me help him. So, yeah.
Help me, help you. Like the classic Jerry Maguire line, right? Help me, help you, or whatever it is.
Cool. We made 3. We hit 3. Nice. Yes. Awesome. Okay. Well, okay, so I still haven't seen Mom Gamer, so we're going to save the argument for later. I don't think any more requests have come in so far, so I think we can get to the show. And you know, the sooner we get to the show, let's see. What's this? Only visible emote to me. I received a Hype Train emote. I'll share it. What does that mean? Choo-choo hype hands.
Oh, everyone's got them. Choo-choo.
All right, so I just made some... Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Still, we've been how many? 24 episodes now, 6 months, and I'm still learning stuff here. I still don't know how it works. Okay.
Same here. I've been on this platform for a year and a half, and I'm still learning things. I learn something every day.
Okie doke. So, folks, here's what's about to happen. We're about to start recording the actual weekly R&R show that appears every Wednesday on YouTube. You can see down at the bottom, we're in the pre-show right now, which is when we chat with you, we do some extra little stuff, you redeem your points. But when the show starts, we're going to be treating this like, oh, it's just me and Ruel, doing a talk show. And you, the members of the audience, I'm sorry to say, we will not be able to look at what you're saying and respond to stuff. We might pause halfway through, but regardless, after we make it through the show, during the show, this little thing will be floating on the screen at the top to remember that, sorry folks, chat amongst yourselves, make your own suggestions for what we're talking about, play with your avatars if you're a subscriber, all kinds of silly things you can do, and when the show is over, we'll come back, we'll probably do some Q&A, maybe Mom Gamer will have been here, and we'll do that, we'll argue. Ruel is pro Wrath of Khan, the greatest Star Trek movie of all time. I would argue otherwise. You folks could actually guess what I might argue in favor of over Wrath of Khan, for instance. And spoiler, it's not Star Trek 5. So just get that one out of the way. Mountain climbing did not push it over the top. So right, so we're about to get going, and let me make sure I've got everything set up. Right, I need. Yep. So you have your list.
Before we get going,
right, Ruel?
Yeah, I have my list ready, and before we get going, we do need to get a secret word for our...
Yes, we do. Thank you. Yes, it is time for the secret word. So that means we are still interacting with you, folks. Folks, during the show, there's going to be a secret word that viewers have to listen for to be able to enter the contest. Every week, we ask you folks, what's a good suggestion for a secret word? Grant or denied, says Nazgoth.
Oh, that's funny.
Let's see.
Grant, denied.
That's the first suggestion. Bombastic, JW Spiker says. Oh, as a relation, because when I was having my audio fail and the audience couldn't tell me because I didn't notice the chat, they started just bombarding me with bomb stickers, and I would just hear explosions in my head, and I would know, oh, that's how I know the sound is off. Bananas.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Bombs might work.
All right, hold on a second. I have to look at my list.
Yeah, I have one that I think bombs. I can.
You want to go with bomb?
There. Yeah, let's do...
Liz Gamer Girl says Grant or denied would be metal.
It would be metal,
and
but I don't know how I can work it into my list of games.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Deny.
All right, and if you've got bomb, I'm going with bomb.
Okay, let's do.
Because by the way, folks, this is hard for us to do. Because we're trying to do it in a way that's really smooth. We have to remember to do it and not forget all kinds of stuff. Meeples and Mocktails suggests attorney. I'm not quite sure why. Did we talk about attorneys now?
I don't know.
Yep.
Wait a second. Now I'm thinking, can I fit bomb here?
Oh, can you not work bomb in?
Now I'm thinking it might be a little...
All All right, then.
yeah,
all right.
I can do it. I can do it.
Okay. Well,
I got it.
I was about to take on Denied, but you're taking on Bomb. Folks, suggest Denied again for super fans. Brenner just said boom, please, through the power of stickers. That's what Brenner wants to see. More bombs.
Ooh.
So it's bombs. Yeah, if we were to work it out ahead of time when you said it, I could throw the sticker on screen. But of course, you don't want to do that because nobody wants to say when it happens because that just means you're giving away your competitive advantage. If you heard it and other people didn't, your chances of winning the contest go up. So you got to keep that secret.
Yep.
All right, Shakalaka Boom, Kabuki Kid suggests as how you just naturally work it in by just in casual conversation saying Shakalaka Boom for no particular reason.
It's like, here we are talking about Shakalaka Boom. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is the nature of this show. Okay, let's see. So, once again, we are back offline, folks. Sorry, we will be back after the show is over, unless we take a mid-break. Haven't done that for a while. So I need to say, all right, that's the wrong list. I need to put the banner at the bottom of the screen because we're not in the pre-show anymore. Save. All right, I'm going to move this over here. There we go. So I've still got my keyboard and my mouse and my phone's over there just in case there's an emergency. All right, I've got my list ready. Oh, are you going to go first, or am I going to go first on the list?
I'll go first as usual.
All right,
I'll do the
cool.
evens.
Then that means I have a number 9, number 7, number 5, number 3, and number 1. Hey, before we go, I'm going to talk to the audience a little bit more. I am genuinely curious about this. There have been a handful of folks, just a small group. One of them is Paulo Renato, which, by the way, Paulo, I noticed he mentioned earlier, his illegal first name is Paulo Renato. So he's got the same thing going as you. I mean, he's got 4 or 5 names in his full name. It's crazy. And so he's officially Paulo Renato. So you guys are bonded by parents who didn't understand how first names work. Okay, so what I was going to say, so several people have requested, and I think I've mentioned to you in the past, that when we're doing this top 10, of course, it's really a top 5, and I call it a top 10. I'll be honest, between you and me, folks, because it gets more clicks. And it is a legitimate 10. And so far, Ruel's never said anything I would say, oh, no, that's terrible. I wouldn't want that on the list. So, I mean, it's a legitimate list of 10 things, but it's each of us providing 5 to it. And some folks have said that what we tend to do is we say, okay, my number 7. All right, well, my number 5. But then that reminds everybody that, well, what was your number 8 and what was your number 2? If we were to try to rework our brains and say the number 6, the number 5, and treat it like it's a real list. Does anybody besides Paulo Renato, first name, and a couple other people care about that? Paulo's mother's name, full name, has 8 names. I guess that must be a Portuguese thing.
Oh, wow.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Nazgoth agrees with the Sayar, as does Forest of Glass. Forest of Glass says it is kind of confusing what we're doing right now, where we just keep switching back and forth. Do you think you could do it? I'm sorry, we did not talk about this ahead of time. This is something we should have talked about in the pre-show.
So do you want to go
instead of the pre-show?
Do you want to go the number 10 or our number 10?
Oh, I think it's synonymous either way. I mean, this is our shared list. I mean, like I've seen other channels like I can't think of any, like Before You Play. When they do a top 10, it is their top 10 because they're a couple, but each of them has 5, and they say, oh yeah, this is our top 10, or this is the top 10. So are you good with that? Can you do it?
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay. Oh, by the way, welcome, Raiders. Welcome, Open World Addicts. Thanks for joining the show. We are just about to start recording, which means we are just about to completely ignore you. Because while we're actually recording the show, it's just me and Ruel. You're in the audience. You can chat amongst yourselves, ask questions. Old timers who are here will be able to help you out with stuff. And so, okay, we've got that worked out. I need to get the browser up. Let's see. Yep. I'll just have it set to Board Game Geek by default.
Before we get started, can we do a battle royale, or do we usually do a battle royale?
Of course we do. That is the new. All right, and let's see. Battle. All
ready, everybody.
Right, so one lucky winner of the battle royale is going to get 100 customization points. Battle royale. If I can spell it, it's with an E at the end. Here we go. Good luck.
Good luck, everybody.
And yes, and the battle royale is beginning. Phew. All right, thank you. I totally forgot.
Ruckus also brings up a nice way to say it. We could also say number 5 of our top 10 might work.
Yeah.
But
it's just as long as we don't take ownership of it. You know, I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be fairly loose. As we stop saying this is my 5, this is your 4.
Yeah.
Because that is a bit confusing.
So from now on, I'm going to say Ruel Grant's number 10
there you go.
is.
Okay, the fight has begun. I'm sure
the
Raiders are saying, what is going on? What is this? What have we just raided? If they haven't already run streaming from the show. But this is all the subscribers who are on right now. They are battling to the death with their avatars. It's all random. Nobody actually has any control over this right now. But whoever survives to the end, and oh my God, I'm making a run for a health pack. Oh, I might subscribe to. I might make it to the end. Me and Andrew go head to head. I take Andrew out. I'm about to take out Orange Crush 84. Oh, but everybody's piling on me. I'm getting attacked from behind by an alien from James Cameron's Aliens. Or Ridley Scott's Aliens. Or I guess Gear's Aliens. I'm being chased by an alien. Oh, and the alien took me out. And now the alien is also taking out Itri 3. Wow. And Kabuki Kid is about to be taken out by the alien. But Fatal 24 took out the alien. Down to 3.
And there were 2.
Fidelia 84 is if JW Spriker does not grab one of those health packs, it's over. But he grabs one. He or she. Is. Okay, if this is an even fight to the death, it could go either way.
Good luck,
JW versus Fidelia. Spiker versus. Oh! You turned your back, JW. What'd you do? There you go.
Congrats! Look at that.
All right.
That's so fun.
Congratulations, Fidelia. JW, you panicked. Gold. You just ran for the hills, and it didn't go your way. All right.
As you can see, folks, your avatars are regenerated.
Everybody's fine. It was all in good fun. But this is the first person I've seen using that alien head. That's very, very cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yep. I'm happy that I was actually hunted down and chased by and killed by a xenomorph. that was just fun in and of itself. Did you see when the last time I done the last show, before I had started it, I had accidentally spawned a few just generic bot ones, and I thought I'd cleared all of them out, but one of them I just had missed, and it's the one that actually won the Battle Royale. The AI, that and the audience named it the Terminator because it was our robot overlords had come and wiped out everybody. And so I had to manually give points out to whoever came in second place. Fourth man, if I recall correctly. Yeah.
The fix is in, folks. The fix is in.
Tech, 2674 is the alien. Well done, Tech. You didn't win the game, but you did get 100. No, that's right. You didn't win anything. You win nothing today, Tech. You'd think that alien hat would help, but nope.
But you did look like the coolest one out there.
Yes,
sure.
Yeah. You certainly won style points. That counts for something.
Okay.
All right. Okay, cool. So, all right. Thank you, Real Bad Noobs. Wishes that more Twitch users put as much into these interactions as. That's very nice of you to say.
Very nice of you to say.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, honestly, some people hate this stuff. I mean, I get every week. Could you please turn off they're so distracting. And my thought is, well, look, they're all down at the bottom of the screen. You will notice the way this is set up. If you just look at us, they're off screen. You could literally just prop a book or, cover up the bottom of the screen and they just disappear. But I mean, to me, they are too much fun. I was a bit nervous when I first got them, but I couldn't do the show without them, quite frankly. They're
and you could always watch the like after it's been edited, the YouTube video that has none of this stuff.
Oh, of course, yes. If you watch on YouTube, because it's interesting, I'm streaming with this on, but I'm recording without it. Kabuki Kid is very snarky. Points out they're all covered up right now because I forgot to turn off the Find All R&R episodes. Oopsie. Oopsie. Anyway, though, sorry about that, folks. Because that's my problem. I'm looking at over here. I see the original image, and so I didn't see that it was covered up. Nobody. Oh no! I can only do better in the future, folks. I apologize. Yes, the URL covered up everything you did. I was explaining stuff that you couldn't see. You know what? Lesson learned. I will do better. I have to remember, just because I can see it doesn't mean you can see it. Ruel should have warned me, though. I blame Ruel. Everybody, blame Ruel Grant. Ruel denied. Ruel denied.
Bring it, folks.
Okay, cool. You've got your list. I've got my list. We're ready to go. I am warming up. Hold on a second. Oh, I'm part warming up because I'm really embarrassed now that I covered up the epic battle. Oh, I feel so bad. Thank you, Brenner. Says he still loves me. Brenner does. He said Brenner speaks for everybody that they all still love me.
Apparently
but
so.
I don't know. That's a bit presumptuous, Brenner. Okay. Phew. All right. So what is it? Okay, we do. Right. So we go to the sponsor. This week's episode sponsored by Floodgate Games. Hey everybody, hey Ruel, how you doing? All right, and then we do the what's on my table, and which is, I make sure this camera hasn't crashed. That would be a good idea to do that first.
Oh yeah, good idea.
All right, so, all right, overhead. Whee! Hasn't crashed.
Nice.
The browser hasn't crashed. Floodgate Games. Okay, so it looks like everything is there. I am ready, spaghetti to go. So, where are we? I'm going to clear my throat.
And just one last time for everyone here hanging out on Twitch, thank you again for hanging out with us and watching the live taping of the R&R Show top 10 games that can be played remotely.
Yep.
Just a reminder that the secret word for the show is BOMB, B-O-M-B. But we'll talk about it more when we.
You get the secret extra information for being here ahead of time. Listen for Ruel. I will not be saying it. It'll be Ruel who is saying it. So that's going to help you find it. Although, if you're a subscriber, you can just whisper to me after the show's over, and I'll tell you where it is. One of the many benefits of subscribing to the show. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Where is it? There we go. Hey everybody, this week's episode of the R&R Show is brought to you by Floodgate Games. Hello, Ruel.
Hello, Richard. How you doing?
I am doing A-OK. This is our 24th episode.
6 months in. Unbelievable. It's crazy. Like, it seems just like yesterday we did the first episode, but at the same time, you know, because time has no meaning, it seems like we've been doing this forever. You know what I mean?
It really does. I mean, half a year of our lives. Half a year of our lives.
Yeah.
I mean, that's mind-blowing when you think about it that way. We only get so many years, and I've spent half of one of them with you.
Yeah, and it's been nothing but the best time for me. I can honestly say it. I love coming on here every week and just hanging out, talking games, and giving away games, and all the good things.
As do I. Let's then talk about a game, shall we?
Yeah. What do you got on your table there?
I'm glad you asked. Let's go on ahead and switch to the overhead camera. This is Vivid Memories, previously known as Vivid, but I believe when it was on Kickstarter, they actually changed the name, probably because there's some other game Vivid, so Vivid Memories. And this is a fantastic, abstract, puzzle game, kind of in the realm of Azul, but I know you've played Azul. Everybody's played Azul. And Azul has a brilliant design, but it's also designed to be very much a gateway-style game, very easy to teach, really low overhead. Imagine Azul, Ruel, but a gamer's Azul, with lots of interesting special powers and extra stuff that makes this a much richer, deeper simulation. Now, what is it? Thematically, what we're doing is we are trying to bring back vivid memories from our childhood, and that's represented by these very, very cool little I don't know what you call these, Bakelite, or what is this type of thing made of?
I always thought it was Bakelite, or I'm not acrylic, but yeah, Bakelite style plastic, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And they're cool, they're fun, and what we're doing is we're drafting them from a series of memory cards, and there's some interesting rules about how you can grab all of a given color, or you can grab all different colors, and once you do, if you take the last from a memory, like say I'm going to grab this, and then I can move over to the next one, I can move over here and get the other green, or I could say, hey, I'm going to get different stuff and get a whole bunch of these, depending on what I was trying to grab. But once you get these, you have to plug them literally into your brain, and you are trying to make certain patterns appear here. You're also trying to make chains of memories that will connect to the outside to score points. But the important thing is, once you clear one of these vivid memories out, this becomes yours. You have to fulfill this memory, because by default, I remembered, I was going skiing, but what I remember myself as, I was on a rocket ship. And so you have to say, well, this is what I did, but this is recapturing that lost spirit of youth, of the vivid memory. And you do that by, again, fulfilling the requirements on this. But here's the interesting thing. After we're doing all the drafting, we have a series of actions we can do to manipulate the memories in our brain. And by default, we have these ones, convert stuff and other stuff, move stuff around, swap stuff. But once we grab these, we have to cover up our original powers and replace them with different powers. And sometimes those new powers we get are nowhere near as good as the old powers. And so now, a power that's really important to me is blocked by this, so I need to fulfill this memory as quick as I can so it gets back off the board so I can get this. It's a really clever game. So much stuff going on, very, very deep, and and a wonderful presentation. All the art, if I recall correctly, I think it's Andrew Bosley art, and all these things of being a happy. Let me fix my focus. I should have done that before we started filming. I was just out riding the bike, but nope, this is what I really imagined myself doing. Or I was flying a cool dragon kite, but oh no, you better believe I was dealing with real dragons. The theme here, it is an abstract game, much like Azul, but to me, the theme really makes it. But although even if it was totally theme free, the gameplay is what's really sharp. If you said, "Hey, do you want to play Azul or Vivid Memories?" It would be this. This game scratches my wife's and my super hardcore gamer itch in a really, really great way. And it's what's on the table. And why is it on the table, Ruel? You might be asking yourself. Because the sponsor of the week, Floodgate Games, is going to be giving a copy of this away to one lucky winner. How did they win?
How do they win? So, friends, during the show, at some point, we're going to be saying a secret word. And that secret word, whatever game we're talking about that moment, you need to type in the name of the game that we're talking about and send it in an email to contest@rahdo.com.
Right.
And the game that we're talking about. So the secret word for this episode, one of us is going to say it.
Yep.
Is bomb. B-O-M-B. Bomb. Sort of like the old song, "You Dropped the Bomb on Me," or,
I was going to say, someone is going to set us up the bomb, quite frankly. Because we're both old, and we only have references from 20 years or more ago. Because we do not know what the kids are saying these days.
Exactly. Do the kids say that is bomb? Do they still say that?
I imagine kids. I something being the bomb must be universal, right? Hopefully. Yeah, if not, I have lost all ability to keep my finger on any sort of pulse whatsoever. But as you say, one of us at one point during our top 10 countdown will say the word bomb. And as Ruel said, when that happens, make a note. What game were we on? Were we on number 7 or number 3? Whatever game it is, put that as a subject matter to contest@rahdo.com. And a week from now, on January 25th, which is my wife's birthday, by the way. Well, I got to work on that. But somebody else is going to be winning a copy on my wife's birthday of Vivid Memories. So that's kind of nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Your wife's birthday. Wow, that's cool.
Yep. And don't trick me into saying how old she is. I've fallen for that.
No,
in the past. That's not gonna happen.
I'm not gonna. No way. I don't want to get in trouble.
Yes.
Yeah. So, friends, again, listen for that word bomb at some point during the show. We're going to say it and type in the name of the game and send it an email to contest@rahdo.com. And you'll be entered into a contest to win your very own copy of Vivid Memories.
Yes. And good luck to everybody. But we've got our day job stuff out of the way. We're giving away games. We're showing games. We're talking about great sponsors. But I think what most people are here for, Will, is to hear what 10 games are we going to talk about and what are they? What's the subject?
Yes. The subject for this episode number 24, 6 months in, is the top 10 remote playable games. These are games that we found that you can play easily over Zoom or Skype or whatever software you're using. But you want to talk about the parameters we set? Because this was tough.
Yeah.
Because obviously, we talked about this before. We could have easily just done 10 roll and writes, because roll and writes are perfect for remote play.
Folks, there will be no roll and writes on this list. They're just too easy. Consider number 11 on the list is any roll and write in history, including Yahtzee. Because any of them will work. That's kind of the point. And we thought, that's just too easy. Let's not make a list of 10 or 8 roll and writes and 2 other things. So we left roll and writes out. They're the unofficial number 11. And so then the next thing we had to figure out is what parameters we're going to put on, because if we wanted to really make our life hard, we could do a thing where, the big choice we had to make was, does it work if only one player owns the game? And that was your gut reaction. You said, okay, we should only do... Yeah. And when we started talking about that, we started looking at it, that means, this is going to be a lot of party games. This is going to be a lot of werewolf clones or stuff like that.
Exactly.
And so ultimately, and that'd be fine. That would be a very good list, I'm sure. There's a lot of interesting games where, hey, only one person owns it, and yet somehow everybody can play. That's great. But ultimately, I want to talk about games I really love. And so this is a list of remote playable games that you can play with other people, provided everybody has a copy of their own copy of the game locally, right?
Yeah, that's right. So everyone has a copy of the game, and this is it's easy enough to set up and play over just using a regular webcam. Like that's another parameter. We said none of this fancy, like those of us who create content, we've got the overhead cam, we've got mics, we're talking like none of this. I mean, we could do that. If you had a webcam, you could set it up like that. That's fine. but we wanted to make sure that the games were still playable if you just had like a standard webcam and no lighting or stuff like that.
Yeah. When I was making my list, I literally got my laptop, turned on the webcam, and tried to adjust the screen to say, okay, can you play this game? If I rotate the screen down like this, can everybody see everything you need to see? Nope. Too much stuff. They can't see it. This game is off the list.
That's funny you said that. I did the exact same thing last night. And that's why I was up till past 1 a.m. last night, folks, because there were so many games I had that, yeah, I honestly, I thought I had a bunch of games and I was like, they didn't work. I was like, this is not going to work. I was like, I thought they would have, but then I narrowed down my list, and you're going to see, folks, we've got, I'm sure we got some similar choices, but we shall see what we've got.
I'm curious to see
10.
what you have. This is our definitive list of 10. I've got 5. You've got 5. We have no overlaps, and remember, no rolling rights or flipping rights for that matter. Random and rights. We left all those off because that's just so easy. Yeah, you only need one copy. Everybody else can just print out, or heck, just literally use graph paper or whatever it might be. That was too easy. We want a little bit of a challenge. So. Exactly. That's it, folks. Those are the parameters. You'll have to let us know in the comments if we totally missed the boat on this. But are you ready to go, Ruel? Do you have our number 10 in mind?
All right. So our number 10, folks, of the top 10 remote playable games is... Give a quick pause here.
Yes.
Here we go. Onitama.
Okay.
Onitama. This is a 2-player game. It's an abstract game at its heart. And as you'll see here, as we bring up the link.
There it is.
There it is, yes. Onitama. Wow, it's 7 years old. I thought it was a newer game. Okay. Well, wonderful game. It's basically, if you like chess but don't want to sit there for an hour burning your brain, this is like I've always preferred this chess just because you have certain moves that you can do on your turn based on what random cards you draw at the start of the game. So you're going to set up a different game every time. You're going to play a card or do a move with a piece, and then you're going to remove that card or put it in the discard pile. You're going to take another card, and they cycle through. I picked this one for remote play because I've done this before. It's super easy. All you have to do is put your webcam on the board. As long as 2 players on the board, you can say, hey, move my pawn, or I think they're priests or monks or whatever. Move my pawn from A1 to A2 or whatever. You can totally set that up. It's super easy. And the object of the game is, like chess, you want to capture the main piece of your opponents. But there's a second way you can win as well. If you get your main monk or your priest or whatever it is all the way to the other side of your opponent's home base, basically, you win as well. So there's 2 ways to win. I've always enjoyed this game. Michelle and I love it. Obviously, we play in person. We don't play remotely, but I played remotely with friends, and it totally works. It's a fun game. Maybe like a 15-minute game, but if you want that feeling of chess without having to, learn all the different moves and stuff, there it is, Onitama. That's our number 10. Top 10 remote playable games.
An excellent choice. And actually, interestingly, I am seeing that people are making their own homebrewed versions of it and posting pictures of it on Board Game Geek to make it even easier to play remotely. Now, I'm curious. You said you did play this remotely. Did both you and the other player, is this a 2-player only game, did you both have a copy? Because I could see this one working with only one copy, depending on how well you can set up your webcam, because it's such a small footprint game.
It is, and I'm glad you brought that up. So you could play it with both players, but I have the copy of the game, and me and my friend, I just labeled the little squares with A1, A2, then B2, B2, and it's like, okay, what do you want to move to? And then I show the cards, and here's what you can move. It totally worked. Fun game to play remotely. Obviously, a fun game to play in real life as well.
Yep. And this game has a ton of really cool expansions. I mean, it just gets cooler and cooler the more you go down this rabbit hole. Yeah, good choice. Yeah. Okay, so that was our number 10 on the list. Onitama. Okay, well, cool. Then let's move on to number 9, which is near and dear to my heart, Tiny Towns. Oops, tiny towns, not plural.
Nice.
Singular, tiny towns. And much like you, I know how well this can be played remotely because gosh, I think it's 2 years ago now, something like that, I got on Facebook and played this game with the crew from Alderac Entertainment, AEG, the publisher of it. For over a year, I think, every week, AEG would get together with other people and just play a game of Tiny Towns over Zoom. And yeah, it works great. Again, this is a case where everybody really needs to have their own copies set up. Although the interesting thing is, this is going to be a recurring motif in mine. Where possible, I was trying to pick games that, yes, everybody has to have a copy, but the reality is that if you were to buy just one copy and give half of the components to one of your friends, then they've got everything they need. You've got everything you need. If you, one player basically chooses what cards are set up that we're building towards, and so it's nice if other players can set that up for themselves remotely. But you don't need to. You can remind each other of that. But if everybody has enough cubes and everybody has a little 4x4 grid and some simple things that represent buildings, yeah, you can play this game remotely and it works fantastically. Here's John, the head of AEG, who is just calling out bingo style the cubes that each of us would build in our own little 4x4 grid, trying to make the perfect tiny town. And I mean, Tiny Towns is in my top 50 games of all time. I absolutely love it to pieces. There's multiple different ways to play it. It's a great solo puzzle game as well. But from personal hands-on experience, I know just it works so well remotely that AEG, and you can see, we were just playing on Zoom. They didn't do any fancy special setup stuff at all. And this was just us playing and having a good time, chatting, talking about the making of the game and all of that. And for the record, I won't say whether I won or lost, but they told me at the time I had the best score of any of their guest appearances at that time. So,
wow.
That did not put it on the list, but playing it remotely and having such a wonderful time. I've also played it remotely with another contributor to the channel, Ryan Crichton of Nights Around a Table. He and I, when I did my run-through of the game, he and I faced off against each other, and this is really awesome. You can watch my run-through of Ryan and I playing through a full game of Tiny Towns. Then you can go to his channel and watch his run-through of the same thing, but filmed from his perspective, where it's hilarious. It's one of the funniest board game videos of all time, as far as I'm concerned, because he really amped up. When he made mistakes, he did thoughts in his head, voice overlays, and it's just awesome. So I have played Tiny Town more than once remotely. It has always worked fantastically. And again, if you don't want to buy 2 copies, you can buy one, split the components amongst your friends and family, and you can get a lot of love out of this game. Number 9 on the list, Tiny Towns.
Great choice. And I was wondering who else was on that. I also played with AEG.
Oh, did you? You were on their show too?
I did, and I was terrible. I scored terribly. So I'm glad to hear that you did well.
Yes. Oh no.
We got crushed. I think Peter McPherson, the designer, was in our call, and he just crushed us. Actually, it was either Peter or Josh Wood, one of the developers.
Josh Wood is a Tiny Towns monster. I can confirm that.
He is.
I can also confirm I got a higher score than Peter, the designer of the game.
Wow, good for you, man. Feather in your cap, my friend. Wonderful game. Just one thing real quick. You could actually play this with graph paper if you really, if you really want to. Just graph paper. I think it's like a 4x4 grid. You just draw the little pieces that you pull there.
Yeah, again, go check out the run-through that's on my channel. Just do a search for Rahdo Tiny Towns, and I think I even talk a little bit up front. Here's what you'll need to do if you want to play along with me and Ryan and see if you can beat our scores. All right.
Mm-hmm. Nice choice. Okay, so let's move on to our number 8 game to play remotely. It is...
What is it, Ruel?
Cubitos. Speaking of AEG, this is one of my favorite games of last year. I have not played it remotely, but you can totally play remotely. If everyone has a copy, all you need are, access to the dice, and one player, everyone could set up the board as well, but you would just, keep track of who's in the lead, who's moving, and because everyone's going to roll their own dice anyways simultaneously.
Right.
So you just roll the dice, and then you tell, hey, I'm going to move this here. I'm going to buy this dice. I'm going to, move my little Cubitos figure on this side of the track and so forth. I just think it'll be a wonderful game. I mean, I love the game itself, but I think it would work remotely as long as everyone has a copy, because there's a ton of dice there. It's fun. It's pretty easy to pick up, and I don't see why you wouldn't be able to play it remotely.
I'm inclined to agree. I think it would work, because the interesting thing is, like I said, this is a race game at its heart. a lot of race games have a lot of player interaction, dropping oil slicks or shooting each other with harpoon guns or stuff like that. This is a very live and let live race. Everybody's just trying to do their personal best. So, having one shared board, I don't think you'd run into as many problems. Like, okay, how many steps are you away from me? Because I need to get into position so I can shoot you and stuff like that. That's not the case. I think the only overlap between players is you can't occupy the same space, although you can just drive right through each other. So I don't think you'd have a lot of a lot of hard time keep track of where am I. Okay, I'm the cute little elephant. I'm the element. I can see where I am. I'm gonna move around here. And because you're right. I mean, the heart of the game is this wonderful dice pool building, push your luck game that is so brilliant. I agree.
Yeah. And that's what I was thinking too. Just because it is so easy to keep track of where you are on the track itself. You just need you honestly just need one person to do that, and then everyone has their pools of dice. And as long as they have the dice, then they're going to be able to build their pool and roll, and just let the main person know, hey, I'm going to move this way. I stop on that spot, and so forth. And then hey, I've won, and that's it. It's such a great game, and I feel like it would be a fun one to play remotely.
I agree. I actually considered this one. It
did you?
It didn't quite make it was one I thought about quite a bit, and I think when I was considering it, I wasn't thinking about, if multiple players have a copy, because one thing that would bother me is, I need to remember every time you set up the game, you get a different collection of cards that indicate what the different dice powers are. And I was thinking, that'd be really hard to see on one player's screen. But we're doing this thing where, hey, if multiple people own the game, it's not going to be a problem at all. And, and I think maybe I should have circled back around. Although if I had, then we'd have a conflict and we'd have an overlap. So I'm glad you mentioned it, because, it is just such a great game. It is tied neck and neck as my favorite race game of all time. It's this and, was it Race for El Dorado or Road for El Dorado from Reiner Knizia?
Quest for El Dorado.
Quest, thank you. Quest for El Dorado.
Wonderful game.
And I think Cubitos probably eclipses El Dorado at this point. It's so good.
And again, with Cubitos, you can play it remotely. I don't think you can play Quest remotely because it's deck building, so you need those cards.
Yeah, exactly. That one would not. I mean, you could, but it would be a lot of work. There would be a lot of overhead. You would definitely have to set up special cameras and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, strictly speaking, any game can be played remotely.
True.
It's just a question of how much groundwork do you have to do. And also, by the way, folks, obviously, a lot of games can be played remotely via video games, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about things you can touch and feel.
Yeah.
And
I actually, one of my a couple of my choices earlier, before we started doing the list, I was like, I can totally play this remotely. But then they have a digital adaptation. I'm like, then people would just play the digital game. Like, why even bother?
Oh, really? This? So you dismissed some because the video game version that is available is so good already.
Yeah. So that's fair. Here's one that you'll appreciate. I had on my list, and I've done this remotely. Castles of Burgundy. Actually did. I did the physical version with my friend Daryl. We actually live streamed it. He had his board. I had mine. I did the shared board in the middle. But then I was like, well, I was going to put that on my list, but the Castle Burgundy app is fantastic. So
it is really nicely done. Yeah. Maybe that's another thing we have to do at some point. Top 10, video game, board game adaptations. It's actually a really good topic.
That'd be a good list.
Folks, let us know in the comments. Would you be interested in that? The one time I ever did video game content on the channel, I did my top 10 favorite video games, one of my worst performing top 10s of all time. So I don't know if people want to hear, but I mean, board game video game adaptations, board games, that could be a really interesting topic. There are so many amazing ones out there now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But anyway, that was number 8 on the list, correct? So we're now moving on to number 7, Calico. Oh, I love Calico so much.
Yes.
Calico is so amazing. And honestly, I was shocked that I didn't find out that we were going to have any kind of overlap here. I figured for sure you were going to put Calico on your short list as well. This is a game of quilt making. And again, this is going to work best if everybody has their own copy. The only real overlap between players, though, is 3 simple tiles that everybody can see. Hey, for this round, we're drafting from these 3 tiles. And here's a few cards that are set up showing here's what special objectives are set up in the game. It is child's play to put that information on a on screen via Zoom or whatever, without having to really do anything fancy, so that everybody can play this game. And because this is a multiplayer solitaire game, once you've picked a tile that you're going to try to put somewhere on your quilt to meet one of 3 different quilt demands, to meet one of 3 different cat demands, to try to get color matching demands, every choice you make is so laden with consequence. I mean, this is a game that just makes you the whole time saying, I don't need to walk. And the other groans of desperation is when somebody grabs that perfect tile you were hoping to grab. I think this would work phenomenally well, because there's very little information that has to be on screen. Provide everybody, and this is another game, by the way, folks, that you could probably split up. Could you split up? No, I don't think you could split this one up, because there's a finite number of each unique type of tile. And but yeah, so that wouldn't work. But multiple copies of Calico makes this a must play. And honestly, you can see the game when you're playing solo by yourself, it's so tiny. You could, instead of seeing each other's faces, we could see each other's boards and keep an eye on what everybody's doing too. I think this would work a treat. It's one of my favorite tile laying games of all time. Just talking about it right now makes me want to play it. I would happily play it remotely with you if Jen wasn't interested. So that is Calico. Thank you. All right, number 7.
Number
Calico.
7. So confession, I have 2 games that didn't make my top 10.
Okay.
Tiny Towns and Calico.
Wow.
Those were just right outside. And I was hoping, I figured you'd put Calico, but I'm glad that you also put Tiny Towns. All right. 2 awesome games. Awesome games.
We are simpatico.
Okay. Yes.
Right,
let's move on to our number 6. Number 6 is, excuse me, Karuba.
Ooh, okay.
You always got to sing that when I talk about Karuba. Karuba, this is similar to Tiny Towns, where it's a bingo style. So someone's going to be calling out, numbered tiles. So you have 36 tiles, and you have a map. And what you're trying to do is take your adventurers through the jungle or whatever to their temple, matching temple color. So you want the yellow or gold adventurer to get to the gold temple and so forth. And you're just laying out these are randomly drawn, and you're just laying out the tiles as you can to make those paths. Now, the tricky part is, how do you move the adventurers? I'm glad you asked, Ruel. The way you move them is you discard one of your tiles when it's called, and the number of exits it has on a tile, that's how many spaces you can move. And if you land on a tile that has a gem or a gold piece, you'll collect that. Those are worth points at the end. If you get to, it's basically a race. The first player to get to their temple will get extra points. The next person will get points, but they'll be a little lower amount, and so forth. And you play until someone's either gotten to all their adventures to the temples, or you've run out of tiles, all 36. I've played this numerous times remotely.
Oh, really?
It is super easy. Yes, it's fantastic. A couple of years ago, if anyone's heard of Gen Can't, that is the online version of Gen Con, where people who can't make it to Gen Con, they gather remotely, digitally, to play games. We had a big game. It was Mega Karuba. One player, I believe it was T from formerly of Haba, they just called out numbers, and we all played the same. There was like 100 people playing.
Wow.
And then then whoever's the first person, hey, I got gold, take that one, take the bonus point off, and so forth. And then everyone was it was such a great time, and I've actually played this. I've streamed it a couple of times as well. It works so awesome as a remote game. That's why it's our number 6, Karuba.
I'll be honest, I'm embarrassed. I totally forgot about this. It just
did
completely
you?
slipped my mind. It's from designer Rudiger Dorn, one of the OG modern, Istanbul, Go, so many amazing games, and this is a fantastic game too. And you are right, it is perfect for this. Because, the bingo style, one person calls, everybody has to deal with that. That's why Tiny Towns work so well. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. What was wrong with my brain? I'm glad you got it. I completely agree. That 100% deserves to be on this list. Number 6. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, then let's move on, shall we, to number 5. I think you're going to be pretty happy with this one. Number 5, Sagrada.
Oh, yes.
Yes, indeed.
Fantastic.
Oh my goodness, this game is so great. And let me turn off those closed captions because you don't need to see it. This is a promotional video I found for it from Floodgate Games. Oh, and by the way, folks, yes, I recognize Floodgate Games is the sponsor of this week's show, but Sagrada would have made the list anyway. Quite frankly, I mean, this is such an amazingly brilliant and simple little dice drafting game. Again, it comes with tons of beautiful, colorful dice. Every round, there's a certain number of dice that are out on display. We're going to take turns grabbing them and trying to assign them to our own little stained glass window that we're trying to create. Very, very simple. And again, a game with very little common information that has to be spread out amongst players. Everybody can see, all right, these are the ones that are available. These are the special power cards that are on in this particular part of the game. I've got my own copy. I've got my own thing. I've got my own dice. I am ready to go. And it's just when my turn comes around, okay, what dice are still there? Okay, I'll take that one. And then everybody can see that one's gone. So it'll work great. It's another one that I believe will work great if you only want to buy one copy and then spread around the components amongst your friends. I believe there are enough dice in this box that you could ensure that works for everybody. And it's beautiful. It's incredibly sharp and puzzly. Yeah, I absolutely adore it. It's had a couple of expansions as well that really up the ante and make it a lot more crunchy and more or less gateway. This is very much a gateway style game. You start putting the life and the passion expansions in, it really starts ramping up. And I highly recommend number 5, Sagrada.
Yeah, Sagrada, it's a winner. Like you said, add those expansions, your brain starts melting because they add a lot of stuff to it. And it's got a great solo game mode as well. It's totally easy to play solo, but you're right, remote, super easy to implement, and just such a fantastic game. It's one of our family favorites as well.
Excellent.
Excuse me. Okay, so that's our number 5. Let's move on to our number 4, which I think you'll like this one.
Yeah.
The Search for Planet X.
Of course.
Yes.
Jeez Louise.
Yes.
That makes perfect sense.
Right? This game was made, I feel like it was made for remote play because all you need is that score sheet. So you and your fellow explorers are searching for the planet X, and it's a deduction game, which surprised me because I did not think I would like this. I'm not a deduction fan. I'm horrible at it. Mm-hmm. I'm horrible at this game, but I love it. It's so well done, and you can easily play it. I've played it several times remotely. I was doing some stuff for Renegade when the game came out, and we actually did a live playthrough. I did not have a copy of the game at the time, but they just sent me the score sheet, and I could totally play along. It's got a really cool integrated app that'll help you, give you the clues that you need, and using your power of deductions and reasoning, you're going to find out eventually where Planet X is. But the question is, can you do it before your other astronomers? Because maybe they've got some clues that clue them in a little quicker than you. So it is a race to find it. It's such a wonderful game. I love the theme. It is based on science. I mean, it's based on actual science that researchers have done. Just a great game and really easy to implement on remote play. That is The Search for Planet X.
I agree. I mean, you mentioned this is basically a modern take on Mastermind, and it uses the app so players don't have to give clues to each other. And one of the cool things is, hey, we're playing remotely. You start up the game on the app, you give me a code, I put that in on mine, and our apps are synced up. Really nice, super simple, super smooth. And yeah, I mean, you talked about how this is based on real science. I would go so far as to say is this game makes you feel like you are doing the exact same simple versions of the same kind of thought processes that real astronomers have to go through to find Planet X and study the heavenly bodies. It is a brilliant design, and I would say surprisingly thematic. It really pulls you into that world with the way your telescope is rotating, and so you're pointing at different parts of the nighttime sky. Good call. Now, strictly speaking, to keep track of what you're trying to do, you do write stuff down.
Yeah. I love that about this game. I actually do feel like a scientist. I'm like taking my notes.
Exactly.
And then as you go around the board, you're going to have conferences. You have a peer review. It's just, the theme is 100% amazing. So well integrated. Yeah, love it.
But I was just going to say, did you break our rules? But then I realized, wait a minute, there's no randomness here. This is not a roll or a flip and right.
Right.
Because, when you start the game up and you fire up the app decides this is where all the celestial bodies are. And we are just using not social deduction, but logical deduction based on what we've discovered, based on what we've seen our opponents do, and what questions they've asked to try and figure out, where is Planet X? Brilliant choice. I am, again, embarrassed that did not even occur to me because that's just about freaking perfect.
Such a good game. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the thing. I love it so much, and it's really not a game that's in my wheelhouse, but that's why I was so impressed with it.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably one of my top 3 games of 2020. It was such a brilliant design. But that's our number 4, folks. The Search for Planet X.
Okay, okay. Well, then let's move on to number 3 on the list. Now, so far we've been talking about like fairly big games. I think this one's a little bit smaller. Maybe people haven't seen it as much, but this is another one of my favorite tile laying games of all time. Number 3 is Subdivision. Right.
Oh.
Now, have you played this one? I wouldn't be surprised if you have.
I have not. I'm curious to hear what you have to say about it.
This is from Bezier Games. This was the thematic sequel to
Suburbia?
Oh gosh,
Suburbia?
Suburbia, which of course was a monster hit.
Yes.
I didn't even think would Suburbia work well? No, I don't think Suburbia would work well. There's too much interplay between players. But Subdivision is taking the same basic idea of everybody is building their own little suburb or subdivision in this game, and it's by doing tile laying. There is a common group of tiles. I'm sorry. Actually, no. It's not that there's a common group of tiles. It's that there is a die roll because this game at first glance almost feels a little bit more like the tile laying of Castles of Burgundy, trying to create the perfect hex, putting certain tiles next to other tiles so that you can trigger stuff, building roads between them and all of that. But the entire game is driven every round by the roll of a die because the game comes. Let me see if I can find it. Where at some point when I roll the thing, it comes with a big fat chunky die that is basically the planning permission we have for a given round that tells everybody what sections of our subdivision can we build in. Now it is a bit tricky because there is tile drafting, and I think this wouldn't be one where you could share because this has what do you call it, it's 7 Wonder style tile drafting. So I've got some tiles. I'm going to keep one of them. I'm going to give the rest to you. So that's a little bit more work than some of the other ones because at the end of my turn I'll say, okay, I'm handing you 3 blues and a green. But it's as simple as that, because this is not a game with, where these are really complicated tiles. Okay, I used my yellow, I'm handing you 3 blues and a green. And so you say, okay, that's my hand on this turn. And then you have to tell the next person, okay, you got 3 reds and a yellow. And so there's a little bit you have to do every round, but that's okay, because that's over very, very quickly. And then what happens is you roll the die tells you, sorry, this round you can only build in green spots. And what are you going to do? Now, what you can do is hemorrhage points to be able to ignore the public planning office and build wherever the heck you want to. And that is super duper painful to do. It's a brilliant game. I absolutely love everything about it. There's objectives that everybody's kind of race for. But again, you'll be able to see that. That's just, shared information. There's this one little bit you have to do. But I can imagine it being a real pain to try to do, a 7 Wonders remotely. Because if I tell you, okay, I'm sending you a temple and an aqueduct and a level 2 warrior, you'd have to, where are all these? I have to find all these cards. But here, you just set it up. You've got a big old pile of, you can see all the tiles. There's simple colors and say, okay, do you just hand me, 2 blues and a green? This is my hand now. And so when I thought about it and I realized, you could actually do a drafting style game, a 7 Wonders Sushi Go style drafting game remotely, really easy and simply. I got really excited about this. Now, this is a bit iffy, but I am very confident that Subdivision would work wonderfully remotely. So it makes the number 3 slot.
Wow, I've never played this game before, and just based on that, I would totally try that. I think that's really cool that if you could do that, a drafting game remotely. That's so cool. I feel like Subdivision sort of flown under the radar
very
for whatever
much so.
reason.
I think the problem was that everybody loved Suburbia. Suburbia was a monster hit. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, this Subdivision is going to be basically Suburbia 2. No, it's not. It's kind of thematically tied, but it's such a radically different game. The puzzle is so different that I think people were just kind of, they had certain expectations. The game ended up being something else, and it just never really caught fire, which breaks my heart because it's such a brilliant game. So tension-filled, so many tough choices from start to finish. And also, not for nothing, a ton of variety. The last page of the rulebook has, I think, like a half a dozen different variants you can play to really mix it up and do extra stuff. I was just describing the base game, but Subdivision is phenomenal. But what's number 2 on the list, Ruel?
Okay, let's move on to our number 2. It is coming up. Number 2 is Forgotten Waters. This one came out, I believe, last year, and I know this works remotely because I was able to play it remotely. We actually live streamed it with Suzanne Sheldon, Mandy Hutchison, and Joe Sundial. It is perfect for remote play. This is got some worker placement to it. It's a pirate game, folks.
Right.
You are going out on forgotten waters, adventurers. You're thinking Pirates of the Caribbean. Plays to 3 to 7 players. This game plays so well online because Plaid Hat Games made it a point to come out. So they had it's a Crossroads game. This is the system that was used for Dead of Winter.
Right.
Also the same designer, Isaac Vega, I believe, was a part of the development team here for Forgotten Waters.
Let's confirm.
But not only do they have the app that uses it for the Crossroads, they actually built a web app so you could play it remotely. And so it was geared for it. It's so good. It's got this awesome in-game narration, so you really get into the theme of the game, and it has a timer because there's this for each little adventure you do, you actually have a little real-time element. It's really interesting how they did this. It's a worker placement game,
right?
But you know how for some co-op games you can totally get bogged down like talking, okay, we want to do this, this, and this. No, you start the time. You got 40 seconds. Where are you going to play your player, and what action are you going to do? And the actions change from scenario to scenario. It's so much fun, and we had a blast playing it. There's different scenarios. You're going to move on this map here. You're going to eventually face other ships and pirates.
Yep.
So you're going to be facing those cannonballs. You don't want them to bomb your ship and stuff. So you got to be careful. Can you set yourself up to get past each little challenge? It's so good. I was really surprised about this. Now the game itself, it's not the most complex.
No.
I compare it to Dead of Winter because it's got a similar system. I would say Dead of Winter is heavier than this one. This one's a little more on the light scale, but I think that's why it works so well remotely, because you can play this, with friends or family who may not be the most hardcore gamers, but the theme, you know what, you gotta, and folks, if you can, go check out the online app and just listen to the narration. They hired like professional actors to do this stuff. It's so cool. And you see the character sheets there. That's all you need. You need a character sheet, and you can tell the one player can run the game.
I remember they make these available, so you can just download them. So just one person has to have the game.
Yep. And you're going to level up and stuff. It's so much fun. It's a wonderful, wonderful game. That's why it's our number 2 on the list, Forgotten Waters.
Good choice. I have to admit, I didn't really think about this one because officially it's a 3-player minimum game. And in fact, I completely ignored it when it first came out. The publisher did ultimately release 2-player specific rules that kind of tightened up the worker placement a little bit, and I think you controlled multiple workers. And it worked okay, but there's no two ways about it. I mean, this is a game where you want to play with more people.
Absolutely.
The more, the better, because that process of trying to figure out, okay, we've all got our strengths as different types of pirates. Who's going to do what to deal with this particular story chapter we find ourselves in? Really good choice. I like it a lot.
Yeah, the storytelling in this is really wonderful too. There's a lot of humor in it, and a lot of it's so well done from a storytelling perspective. And that's why I'm so hyped on it. We played 4 players. I could totally see this playing at 7 just as well. Because of the web app that they've created, it makes it so easy. And that's why it's in our number 2, folks. Let's get to our number 1.
Well, I love also that you were speaking from experience, that you've actually done that. Speaking of playing games remotely from experience, the number 1 on the list, we will be putting this to the test tomorrow, folks. Number 1 is Savannah Park. Now, this is the latest game from the super design duo of Kramer and Kiesling, one of my favorite sets of designers in the world. And at its heart, this is another one of those bingo style games where every round, one player is going to pick one tile from their board, which is full of tiles that have all kinds of different savanna animals: rhinoceroses, ostriches, elephants, giraffes, etc., etc. So I might call out, this round, everybody is moving their their rhinoceros with a pond tile. That means everybody has to find wherever they've got their tile on their randomly generated board. Everybody's got a completely different layout. Pick that tile up, flip it over to be in the final spent state, and now put it in an empty space on their board. And the thing is, everybody's board is so radically different right from the get-go. I just described pretty much all the rules of the game, folks. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
It's so simple. But the puzzle is so hard because when you pick up that rhino with a pond, what you're trying to do is, okay, I need to put this in a place where ultimately I will be able to get as many rhinos next to this, adjacent to this, as possible. And that's going to be hard, because if you put it in a place that's surrounded by giraffes, you got to get all those giraffes out of the way before you can move new rhinos in. And when you're moving those giraffes out of the way to make room for your rhinos, you're trying to make a nice home for those giraffes so you can have a big group of giraffes surrounded by each other with lots of water as well. Because it's basically, when you get all your ostriches together, it's the number of ostriches times the number of watering holes they have access to is your ostrich score. And meanwhile, you're also having to bear in the fact that there are places that are on fire. And some animals can survive adjacent to that fire and other animals can't. And of course, the trickiest thing is some tiles have different animals on them. Okay, I'm going to do my double ostrich elephant tile. And so now I need to put this in a place that'll work well with my ostrich clutch and my elephant clutch. Have I been able to work that out? No, it turns out I got to put this thing off somewhere in no man's land because I don't have a good spot for it. It's a super duper simple game, and yet incredibly crunchy and deep. You're going to watch, if you check out on what day is it? It's going to be January 19th. Ruel and I are actually going to be streaming this live on Twitch, putting this to the test. And I've really put it to the test because my whole idea of, hey, take half of a game and give it to your friends and then you can play remotely, that's exactly what we did. Ruel has half of my personal copy of Savannah Park. I want it back. And we will be playing that live. And then at some point, I got to get down to Southern California and get that back. But it's my wife and I, we have enjoyed this so much, and I expect we are going to have a blast, and you, the audience, can have a blast too. If it's past the 19th when you're watching this top 10, check the show notes down below or hit that eye in the top right corner screen. There will be a link that takes you directly to our remote gameplay section of number 1 on the list, Savannah Park.
Yeah, I can't wait for tomorrow to play it, and I did do a solo run through. It's so much crunchier than I thought it was.
Oh my gosh.
It's like you said, it's super easy. The rules are so, like, you basically described the game in like a minute and a half, and it's super easy to pick up. But then as you're playing, it's like, oh no, I need to place this here, there, and it never works out the way I wanted to. I love it, and I can't wait to play it. Great choice for our number 1, Savannah Park.
All right, well, I'm very happy with that list. You had some excellent choices that, again, I'm
too,
so
sir.
glad you're here, because it just would have slipped my mind. And how could I not put Karuba on this list? That was fantastic, sir. But
yes,
job
great
done.
games.
And audience, did you hear one of us say the word bomb? Did one of us set you up the bomb? If so, what game were we talking about? Once again, send an email to contest@rahdo.com with the name of the game in the subject. Not bomb in the subject, not contest in the subject. The name of the game specifically. And we'll put you in the drawing, and maybe you'll get lucky and win a copy of the excellent Vivid Memories from our sponsor, Floodgate Games. And that's it. Ruel, did we miss anything? Are we good to go?
I think we're good to go. That was a great list. And, like we said before at the start of this, it was a lot tougher to put this list together than I thought. So I'm glad to see the titles that we came up with were all games, I would totally recommend.
I just love this image I have of you, late at night, trying to, lit only by the light of your laptop so as not to wake anybody up.
Okay, we both did it. That's the funny part.
Fit?
I love it.
Cool.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks as always for watching, folks. Thank you very much to Ruel for being the best co-host in the business. And also thanks to our sponsor, Floodgate Games, for making the show possible. Have a good day, everybody. Talk to you later. So long. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody. We are back. And, I'm so sorry. Check Games Edition Raiders.
Welcome.
Did they have you do the check this raid out? I missed it. We missed it because we were doing the show. But welcome. Hopefully some of you stuck around.
Yes.
Oh man, I'm being genuine. How did I not think of freaking Karuba?
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh. That totally would have made my list. Speaking of made lists, one of the things we want to do for folks who aren't watching on YouTube but actually are catching us live is, we're not done with the list, folks. Let's actually talk in our post show about the ones that we could have, our number 5 to 10, shall we?
Oh, yeah, you know what I forgot to do? I probably should have done this during the show, but I just want to remind everyone, after we're done here with the R&R show, y'all are going to raid my channel because I'm going to go live in about 20 minutes or so, and I'm going to play one of the games on the list. Can I talk about what game it is?
Yeah, well, what is happening after we're done here today in about 40 minutes from now?
I'm going to be playing Karuba. It's all set up. We are good to go, folks.
That is ridiculous.
Yes. So Karuba, just like I talked in the show there, you can totally play it online, folks. If you have a copy, go run, get it out of the closet, get out of the shelf or whatever. Play along with me. I'm going to be playing live at 2 p.m. Pacific here. We'll wait till the raid comes in and we'll hang out for a few minutes. But yeah, we are all set up to go. I love playing Karuba online with y'all, so come join me. That's what we're going to be doing.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm looking through the chat. I do not see Mom, or actually, I can just click on this button and it'll tell me if Mom Gamer is here.
Yeah, under
no,
users.
it looks like Mom Gamer is here. So we could do our fight that she requested a week ago. Let's see. Is this list right? Is it? I mean, okay,
I don't see her on there.
Yeah, I don't see her chatting, and she's normally a pretty chatty Kathy.
Yeah.
I do see we just got a this or that requested as well. That just came in. So we're done a little early, folks. We've got 27 minutes. And Board Game Geek, welcome to the party, pals.
Welcome.
42 people just showed up. That is excellent. We just finished recording our top 10 remote playable games. We've just finished that, and now we're going into the post-show interactive bit where we talk to the audience, we do Q&A, and we take requests from the audience. Do you want to do the this or that? Let's see. Hold on a second.
Let's do this or that.
Yeah, no one's right. Okay. So, folks, I don't know if you're familiar with the concept of a this or a that. It's basically a segment during the show where the audience, you, start saying blue or yellow, peanut butter or chocolate, Luke Skywalker or Han Solo, whatever it might be, and we just rapid fire say, oh, I prefer X to Y. So let's go on ahead. Duck of Death 5 has requested, using his channel points, a this or that. We are going to give them a this or that. And in the meantime, while everybody starts thinking about this or that's to throw at us, has anybody thrown any at us yet? Nope. Okay, I am just going to go to a random page.
We have a bunch of gift subs being sent out by Board Game Boy. They've dropped a bunch of subs. Thank you, Board Game Boy.
Board Game Boy, thank you very much. You just gave a gift to Board Game Geek TV itself. That's very cool. That is excellent. Okay, a lot more love. Anybody check Games Edition? If you just got a subscription to the show for the next 30 days, in a few minutes, down there below at the bottom, your little stream avatar will appear, and you will be able to customize it, dance, sing, hug people, challenge each other to duels, stuff like that, and hopefully you enjoy. But if you scroll down past the video, there's a section devoted to subscribers that lists all of the benefits we're giving. Like, for instance, did you know that if you subscribe to this show, whisper me, and I will give you a, what do you call it? I will give you a link to a special exclusive playthrough of a game that my wife and I did. Like, for instance, right now, if you whisper me and you're a subscriber, I will give you a link to it was like a 2-hour-long playthrough that my wife and I did of Zulk and the Mayan calendar, plus the Tribes expansion. And I know there's some Check Games Edition fans in the audience, so maybe you want to see that. If you're a subscriber, whisper me either now or after the show. I'll catch it later on in the day too. I'll send you the link so you can watch that. Every month we put out a new video. If you need help finding the secret word, Ruel, did you sneak the secret word in?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Did you catch it?
Apparently, some people did not. I've got like 4 subscribers requesting where was it mentioned. I totally missed it. I totally span out now. Don't tell me now, but tell me after the show, and then I will let the subscribers know so they don't have to go watch the show 3 times. There have been plenty of times I've watched the show 3 times. I still can't find it. And right, so don't worry, people who are requesting the bomb, I will set you up the bomb after Ruel tells me when the bomb was, because I have no idea. And but anyway, so we're doing a this or that. Have people this or that at us yet?
There's a bunch of them.
Oh man, did we right past them? We'll find them. Start hitting them at us.
James Brazil says, floriferous or herbaceous?
Floriferous, easy.
Yeah, I love herbaceous, but yeah, floriferous is my vote as well. Toast from the Duck of Death, toast or English muffin?
Obviously toasted up.
I do enjoy the nooks and crannies of an English muffin, but I like toast. Give me toast.
My wife makes amazing home-baked sourdough. She has a sourdough starter that she's been holding on to for years. And she has, she has to make bread almost every week to keep it alive, because that's how sourdough starters work, I guess. It's an organism or something, or it's a whole bunch of millions of organisms. And it's fantastic. Science. And it toasts up so amazingly well. But a really good English muffin, that's a hard one. I am actually going to plead the fifth and just say my wife's toast, obviously.
I was going to say,
just
you better
in case she's watching.
What about milk first or cereal first into the bowl?
Oh, that's interesting. Well, wait,
I'm a cereal first guy.
Who puts milk in the bowl first? Yeah, obviously cereal first.
I'm a cereal guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I was trained properly by years of Saturday morning cartoon commercials showing the milk pouring over. No commercial ever had the milk in first.
Oh, it's
that would certainly catch your attention, I suppose, if some ad exec did do that. What else?
Yeah. Ruckus, Sid Meier's Civ board game or the video game?
Oh, the video game. And
yeah, I've only played the video game. I've not played the board game. So
honestly, I don't want to play a board game where I'm going to sit down for 2 to 3+ hours trying to destroy my wife. Whereas if I play the video game, I don't have to destroy anybody. I'll just destroy the AI. If there's a solo mode in the board game, then it would be a tough choice. But I don't believe there is one.
I don't think there is. Yeah. Okay. Raven Rose asks, competitive or cooperative? I think I know your answer.
Personally, cooperative.
Yeah.
As a gaming couple, competitive though. At the end of the day, I think it's almost easier, all things being equal, to make a fantastic competitive game. It is a harder challenge. I think more co-op games fail because the developer does not have the the human spirit, an AI or an I, not a non-AI that's actually I'm competing against. I personally love co-op so much, but if I had to pick one, I can only own one type for the rest of my life. I'd probably go competitive just because that would give me a lot more options.
Yeah, I'm going with cooperative. Competitive as well because I just prefer competitive games. But you're right. I think you're totally right. In fact, saying competitive or cooperative games are probably tougher to design and to make a really good cooperative game. Yeah. But I'm a competitive guy. Let's see. Tex 2674. Ketchup or mustard?
Oh, mustard. Not even a hesitation.
Yeah, I'm gonna let me throw an asterisk on
ketchup this. Ketchup is the devil's sauce.
Ketchup, but here's the thing: ketchup with a little sriracha in it is amazing.
Hey, he didn't say ketchup plus additives. I mean, yes, you can do amazing. I mean, ketchup and mayo, quite frankly, is. McDonald's built an empire off of that, basically. But just taking straight as a condiment, mustard every day of the week.
But here's the thing, like mustard, I can't eat French fries with mustard. I gotta.
I wouldn't put ketchup or mustard on French fries. I lived in Europe long enough that for me, it's
you're
mayonnaise.
A mayo guy.
It's all mayo on. I mean, if you told me that 20 years ago, I would have laughed you out of the room. But after living in Europe for almost 2 decades, I drench my fries in mayo now.
Is it like a special mayo, or is it literally
just straight mayo? Nothing fancy. It's just weird. Also, another weird thing they do, they put vinegar all over their fries, also, which I for the longest time thought was ridiculous. But no, that's amazing too.
It is malt vinegar on French fries, folks. The best thing in the world. I love it.
Yep.
Cereal or oatmeal?
Probably oatmeal.
Man, as much as I love cereal, like I'm probably more of an oatmeal guy these days. And I think that speaks to our age.
Yes.
20 years ago.
Were you the same thing growing up? Those little packets of Quaker Oats, the brown sugar one, the apple and spice one, you and your siblings fighting over which one do you get?
Yeah. No, I was we were always cereal guys growing up, but lately it's I was cereal guy. The little packets of, you get the multi-pack of Frosted Flakes, Corn Pops, Sugar Smacks or whatever. Which one do you want? Oatmeal for me is only within the last, decade or so. Really? So you've been an oatmeal guy your whole life?
Oh, yeah. I didn't really breakfast cereal was a huge, very rare treat for us. But oatmeal was almost a daily staple. The treat was getting the special prepackaged Quaker Oats ones. Normally, Mom would just make her own version of it, and it was never as good because it never had as much sugar.
Right. Okay, let's see. Inside or outside?
Inside.
I
want to say outside. I feel like that's the better, more healthy option, but no.
Yeah,
I can't watch TV outside. I can't play board games outside, or at least
I'm thinking the same thing. Yeah, I want to say outside. I love being outside, but inside probably.
If you're honest.
Yep. Peter Parker or Spider-Man? Peter Parker or Spider-Man?
Peter Parker.
Yeah, Peter Parker is Spider. Well, okay, yeah, Peter Parker.
If you, I mean,
Mount.
If you were to read a comic that was only about the exploits of Peter Parker or only about the exploits of Spider-Man, and he was one or the other, which comic would you read? That's the question.
That's so tough
That's
because
a weird.
they're
That's a
so
weird freaking
intertwined with
comic.
each other.
The amazing Peter Parker, where
Yeah,
he just okay, in that case, Spider-Man. I have to admit.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. Let's go. Mountains or ocean? I'm more of an ocean guy.
I think we've had this
I
one, and
like.
I'm more of a mountain guy because
Yeah,
sometimes the beach stank.
yeah, yeah. I'm okay with that. Okay. Wow. Some people actually do milk first. I've never heard of that.
That's
Okay.
it's a thing, I guess. There's a
Yeah.
movement. That's
Cold room and blanket or warm room and t-shirt.
ooh, that's an interesting one.
Wow, who said that? Dino, a nice one.
I don't know. I mean, you're reading them.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the screen. Uh, I think
Oh,
cold room. Well, a good provided the blanket provides enough warmth.
yeah,
Provided.
yeah.
Although you know what, the
That's my thing.
problem is I'm really susceptible to cold, and what's worse, my nose gets so cold, and when it's cold in this house, and it's cold in this house a lot, because we live in the Pacific Northwest, and we try to cut back on heating bills wherever possible, so I
Yeah.
spend a lot of my year huddled under a blanket, and my nose is always out, and it's never, or I try to do this and all that, and my
Yeah,
nose is
yeah.
just, I can't stand that. Because of my nose specifically, I think I would go t-shirt and warm.
T-shirt and warm room. Oh, interesting. I would go cold room and a blanket only because I could always get another blanket if it's too cold. Whereas if it's too warm for me, like you got to turn on the air conditioning or whatever. It's just it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
But
Oh
gosh,
if I wasn't tied in, because I got the mic on, I would run out to my coat because my wife, because my nose is so sensitive, she actually knit me a cap with big gigantic holes right here that comes down over my nose.
nice. You
Yep.
can go rob a bank afterwards.
Yes. Well, it's interesting if I go out and wear that, and I'm actually just wearing my mask. I become a superhero effectively.
Nice. Let's see. Skipping up here a little bit. Squares or hexes? I'm a hexes guy all the way.
I think I would go squares, and the reason I say that is
Really?
specifically because of Glenn Moore, and as a tile layer, hexes are fine. Don't get me wrong, but hexes are easier. Square tile laying really puts the screws to you because you only have 4 options instead of 6. So
Okay.
it generally speaking, a square tile layer is more tension filled than a hex tile layer.
Okay, I can give you that. Yeah, I do prefer the hex just because you have more options. You can spread out a little more. Um, let's see. I've skipped a few here. Let me see.
I
Fries.
see Gator Dave said, well, was I superhero or was I Dumb Donald from Fat Albert? I wanted to reference Fat Albert, but I couldn't remember if it was Dumb Donald or if it was Mushmouth. I couldn't remember which character had the hat that
Oh,
came
that's
all the
right,
way down.
Mushmouth. Yeah. Well, we've done a bunch of.
Okay,
this
yeah,
and
I
that.
think so.
we've
I think so.
fulfilled-
I think
Yeah,
they got their Rahdo points worth out of that. I will mark that as
definitely.
done. Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Now we've got about 11 minutes. I would like to take off a little early
Yes,
just
that's
so I
right.
can
You
do a
need to
bio
bail
break and set
so
up.
that we can
Yep.
raid you playing
Yes.
one of the greatest remote playable games of all time, Karuba. So, okay, we'll save this top 3 in the argument for next week. Super
Okay.
1491.
Cool.
We will hit your top 3 at 12:15 Tuesday of next week. And what the top 3 is, we come up with a few categories, the audience votes, and then we literally do an on-the-spot, here's the 3 best examples of this, whatever it is, whether it's a game or pop culture thing or whatever. So we'll do that, and we'll do our epic Star Trek is Wrath of Khan the greatest Star Trek movie of all time argument next week when Mom Gamer is here, because we love Mom Gamer.
It's funny. Yeah, I rewatched Star Trek 4 the other day, The Voyage Home.
Okay.
I forgot how funny that movie was. That
well,
movie had
maybe
a lot of comedy.
maybe you'll have to be arguing against Khan then, because there's
No,
a lot of other
Khan's
good
still
Star
number
Trek out
one.
there.
Khan
All
is
right.
still the best, but 4 was like way funnier
Oh my
than I
gosh.
remembered it.
Kabuki Kid says, how do I keep missing that she is here? Apparently, all right. Well, then, okay, do we argue about Khan right now, or do we do 10 minutes of Q&A?
Can we do 5 minute? Can we do a 5-minute argument just so I can have a break to get ready for my stream?
Okay, cool. Yes.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to argue this quick. Mom, MG101, this is for you.
All right, Mom.
As I have seen, several people have guessed, most notably Kabuki Kid. I'm sorry, Wrath of Khan is not the greatest Star Trek movie. Undiscovered Country is. Hands freaking down.
Let's
And I will tell you why. One man,
I want
Nicholas Meyer. The creative force behind both films. These are, don't get me wrong, Khan is number 2. Okay. But Undiscovered Country is everything Khan has to 1,000. It's got an incredible, iconic villain that, Christopher Plummer, I would put him against Ricardo Montalban any day of the freaking week. You want to talk about scenery chewing? Ricardo Montalban is great, but he doesn't have Shakespeare on his side. Actually, wait, that's not true. They both do. They both quote Shakespeare. From hell's heart, I stab at thee.
Right?
But again, Christopher Plummer gives us 10x the Shakespeare because, of course, we all know it's best when heard in the original Klingon, obviously. And, don't get me wrong. I think Khan is great. The themes in Khan, a reckoning with our age, the fact that, I thought that was such a brilliant little, sci-fi idea that, nobody has glasses except for Kirk because he has a condition that won't let him use the special future thing. So he has to wear glasses and that's a symbol of his age. All that stuff is brilliant, but all of it pales in comparison to the single greatest line of dialogue in all of Star Trek history. They're dying, Jim. Let them die. That, when Spock is trying, because it's an allegory for the end of the Cold War and the Russians and all of that, that brings me to tears thinking about it. That's so powerful. And, and Kirk immediately realizing what he said, and has it ever occurred to you that we're due to stand down? That we've done our bid for king and country? And everything about that scene is so perfect. And don't get me wrong, everything about Khan is perfect too. It's just that Nicholas Meyer gave us Khan times 10 in every metric. Villains, Shakespeare, real world allegories, comedy. Undiscovered Country is laugh out loud funny. It's one of the funniest Trek films as well. When the ship takes that torpedo, that was like one of the most impactful moments the Enterprise has ever hit. Okay, but anyway, I'm sorry. Yeah. I went a long time. I got to give you some time to make to counter.
That's all good. I'm going to revisit. I'm going to revisit Undiscovered Country because I remember enjoying it at the time, but I think I might have just been on that. I was sort of over it or whatever. But Khan, you're talking about iconic lines. Come on. The needs of the many
outweigh the needs of the few or the one. Ship
or the one
out of danger. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Or to quote Seinfeld, there's a hell of a thing when Spock died. But here's and I'm glad you brought that up because this is my fundamental problem. Khan, if Search for Spock didn't exist, probably wins. Search for the Spock, which is a good movie. I love Christopher Lloyd. I have had enough of you. I love everything about that, but it undoes the heart of that movie because Nimoy had second thoughts. It's like, maybe I do want to come back. Will you let me direct?
Yeah.
So that's another big problem for me. If Search for Spock didn't exist, if that had been real and meaningful, and Spock didn't have a get out of jail free card, yes, Colin.
Right. Yeah, but you're talking about emotional. What sits with you emotionally? That. Still to this day, I've seen that movie at least a dozen times.
Yeah,
just the interaction, the relationship between Kirk and Spock. As Spock is dying. Come on, I'm just like, oh god, it just is.
Oh god, yeah, it's such a gut punch. But it's less of a gut punch because I know it's all fake. Because. Remember.
I don't think that lessens
I see.
The impact
Remember.
Of it.
Okay, he didn't really die then.
Remember.
Yeah.
Oh,
but second
Ricardo
best
Montalban,
line in all of Star Trek history. Of all the souls I've met in my travels, his was the most human. That's Shatner's best acting ever, and he can barely contain that emotion.
Agreed. That scene, yeah. And then Scotty with the bagpipes, yes, great scene. And I don't remember, does Undiscovered Country, the music, was it James Horner? Because James Horner's music in
I believe so. That's a good point. Okay. I think he did the score for both of those. And he is such an underappreciated maestro.
Totally underrated. I love that.
I gotta look that
soundtrack.
Up.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay. I've got about 5 minutes. I know it's getting emotional here. It's getting a little dusty in here as we reminisce about Star Trek memories.
My gosh.
I'm going to take my break. I'm going to set up my channel. I'll be live in 5 minutes. But thank you again, my friend. Another great stream. Man, you really are you gonna be okay?
God,
it's gonna be okay.
Again, Jerry said it best. Hell of a thing when Spock died. Hell of a thing.
Yeah.
Replies George.
All right. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Friends in chat,
No.
thank you again
Kabuki
for
Kid
hanging
corrected
out.
me. Cliff Idleman did the score for Undiscovered Country. Well, that's a big plus then. I mean, although, I
James
had
Horner's
the Undiscovered
music.
Country
Brilliant.
CD for years. I had that on constant rotation when I was working in the video game industry. It's an amazing score. I cannot recommend it enough. Nice. But anyway, okay, you are bailing. Get out.
Okay.
Give
me like 5 minutes, and then I will, if you can stick around, I will type into chat like when I'm live. Does that work?
Okay. So, folks, we're going back to Q&A for a couple of minutes. It's just going to be me and you and a dog named Boo, loving and living across the land, and how I love being a free man.
Nice.
I'll see you next week. I'll see you next week.
Okay.
Or no. I will see you tomorrow. In the Crucible, as we go mano a mano, head to head in Savannah Park. But get out, get set up.
All right.
I'll wait until I get the all clear, and then we'll raid you.
All right. Thank you. See you, friends.
Bye. Woo. And there he goes into right. And then I have to hide the Discord window. Hey, everybody. I'm sorry. We completely forgot about everything. I'm going to see what did people say about that. Apologies, I got a little emotional. I tend to get emotional about stuff. Alrighty. All right. All right. So just randomly, I wonder if there's a Shakespeare play on YouTube with the actual Klingon subtitles. I bet you anything there is. I am certain probably multiple works of Shakespeare have been completely translated into full Klingon. I would bet money, Ruckus, that has happened. Undiscovered Country is a bittersweet movie because it was the last original. Oh, thank you, Kabuki Kid. A wonderful final and such pitch perfect swan song for the OG cast as well. I think Brenner is right. Why not both? Of course, that is the true answer. Because, Nicholas Meyer, although it's interesting, some of the things that make it so great is it really diverges. I know that Gene Roddenberry was really unhappy because Nicholas Meyer really militarized Starfleet in a way that Gene Roddenberry was very opposed to. So in that regard, if you were to ask Gene, he would say neither. And, he is the great bird of the galaxy. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm not going to scroll up. I'm just going to keep on scrolling here. Let's see. Are we talking about 2 movies or the series? That was arguing about the best Star Trek movie, and I think I made a good point, but I'm sure I didn't convince anybody. And you can't argue against Khan. Khan is amazing. Heck, Khan is the one that made me cry in front of you. I almost cried with Undiscovered Country, and then I did cry with Khan. Let's see. I'm just scrolling, looking for question marks. If anybody can have any questions. QA, Fem Sensei, what do I get as a Patreon that you do not get as a Twitch subscriber? Well, it depends on the... I'm glad you asked, Fem. Let me do a little sales pitch. Excuse me. You get, depending on the level, you get to you get to vote on what games get covered on the channel every month. Everybody gets that. You get an ad-free version of the entirety of the Rahdo Runs Through podcast. The Rahdo Runs Through podcast has, half a dozen shows every month. And if you listen to them as a regular podcast, there are ads. If you watch them on YouTube, there are ads. If you're a subscriber on Patreon, even at the $1 level, they are all ad-free. So you get tons. Multiple hours every month of ad-free podcast content. You get my monthly ramble, where I do a video log. I do behind-the-scenes stuff about the channel. Sometimes I do solo gameplay. I do all kinds of stuff. Those are exclusive just for Patreon backers. You get the monthly Jen Jog, where Jen and I sit down for probably about an hour, and we hear her perspective on every game that she and I played over the preceding 4 months. You get more exclusive videos. As a subscriber here on Twitch, you are getting to see some of the old, from years ago, R&R shows, the exclusive videos of me and my wife playing games for only Patreon backers. Patreon backers get 2 new ones every month, and subscribers here on Twitch, you get one that was basically from a couple of years ago. And so you keep up to date with that. I feel like there's other stuff too that I'm forgetting, but there are a lot of things if you back at a high enough level, I literally send you a physical postcard in the mail every month with pictures and talking about Jen's and my life, little things like that. If you go at the super crazy high level, you can demand that we cover certain games, but taken from a list that I've curated. So, there's a bunch of stuff. And what I need to do, I haven't set this up yet, that everybody who backs on Patreon gets a stream avatar because I found out a way I can do that. I haven't done it yet. You get the stream avatar for subscribing here. The main thing that's unique that you get for subscribing here, of course, is the hey, where's the secret word? Oh, Ruel didn't tell me what the secret word is, but I'll figure that out. And so you get that information. You get to watch this show live, or everything we stream on Twitch, ad-free. And then you get access to some of the old Patreon stuff. So that was a good, big, long, chunky question. Okay, has Ruel gone live yet? Let me go on ahead and looky-loo. Yes, he has. Okay, so folks, thank you for making this another wonderful... I'm sorry, we did not spend near enough time interacting with you, the audience. But here's the deal. My favorite thing by far about Twitch is, after the show is over, later on in the afternoon, I go back and I read the entire chat log for the entire show. I do this every single show I stream on Twitch. And if there were questions I missed or important things or whatever, I always do little whisper shout-outs to people because you can direct message people on Twitch. You can't do that on YouTube. It's awesome. So, I mean, I'm sure there's some people on right now who could confirm that, yes, occasionally that happens. So, that's it. We're going to raid Ruel now, though. And I'm pushing the button. I'm pushing the next button. And you are going to enjoy. And I believe there is a way you can play along with him, even if you don't have a copy of Karuba. But, oh my gosh, there are 95 of you now. Then go get him, Tiger. Raid! Raid! Raid. Okay, and it looks like the raid is on the way. Let's confirm. All right, he's just on his load screen, and I'm sure he will see that the raid is incoming, and then he will say, I don't know if I actually gave him the 5 minutes he asked for, but we will find out shortly. Yep, there he is. He's just turned on his camera. Okay, there he is. Whew, okay. All right, job done. I got to get to work editing this to turn it into a show for YouTube tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody. Talk to you later. So long. Bye. Bye. Bye.